we got Myron Gaines back in the house. Hey, so how do you say your real name?
It's Amru is my real name.
Amru. That's not hard.
Yeah, you guys have me dox myself in the first 2 seconds, huh?
Amru.
I like that. Hey, what's your real name again? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm socially awkward.
I don't think women should be able to vote. I don't think gays should be allowed to get married. 2 genders, you know, anyone that identifies as anything else needs to go to a mental institution. Most of the time when girls get abortions, it's for being fucking sluts. October 7th has really exposed the power and influence of Israel on American politics. Yeah. Here's the problems in the black community. We don't have fathers. Yeah. We promote degenerate music that promotes drug trafficking, violence, gangs. We use stupid ass ebonics and slang. Speaking proper English is considered like you're a coon or an Uncle Tom.
You're trying to be white.
You know, you're trying to be white or some shit like that. Is the country good right now? No. Okay. Who's running the country? Joe Biden, Kamala Harris? Okay. So if the country's not good right now and she's running it, why would you vote for her? Quavo? Fucking idiots. Stupid. She's in right now. What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
These promises she's making, why ain't she doing it right now?
She's the number 2 in the United States as we fucking speak. It just proves how Democrats campaign. It's all fucking smoke and mirrors.
Right.
They're
good politicians.
They're good politicians. The real problem, right? This is where so many Americans are stupid, and we could talk about this, is the higher food prices actually came from the Russia-Ukraine conflict. I know the Tate brothers very well. I went over to Romania a few times. They were gracious enough to let me live with them for a month. You know what I always thought about that's incredible to me? How powerful men really are. Monica Lewinsky is a household name because she sucked the dick of a guy that was that famous.
Right.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
You can become famous off of sucking a dick. That goes to show how useless women are. God damn! And I got some other views as well that might not be safe for you too, but I'll just end it there.
Yeah. Yeah, gotta talk to y'all about our sponsor, Optimal Human. Yeah, it's got over 90 powerful ingredients. It's good for the heart, lungs, for your pee-pee, and if you're a woman, it's good for the gas. And now you can try it for free. Go to optimalhuman.com/Hodgetwins to get your free kit today. Yeah. All right, we got Myron Gaines back in the house.
What's up, man?
Hey, so how do you say your real name?
It's Amru is my real name.
Amru. That's not hard. How you spell that?
Amrou.
Yeah. Okay, Amru.
Yeah, you guys have me dox myself in the first 2 seconds, huh?
Amru.
I like that. Hey, what's your real name again? Oh, yeah.
I'm socially awkward. This guy. Yeah, I'm socially awkward.
Yeah, no, so the whole story with that, because I get so many haters, oh, you had to use a fake name, are you even black? Oh, all these stupid comments.
Yeah.
The reason why is because I was working for the government at the time when I started a fitness business first, and then I ended up doing the podcast, right? Because I was like, okay, you can only scale so much from Instagram. I started doing fitness videos. You guys come from that niche as well.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was still working for the government. Obviously, my name is unique. So if you Google my real name, court documents come back of cases that I've done.
Yeah, okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, you can find criminal complaints, all that stuff on Pacer, because at the federal level.
So when you started YouTube, you was undercover.
Yeah, I was undercover. Yeah. I really was. So that's why I didn't use my real name, because it's just so unique. And then obviously I ended up resigning from the government a few months later because we started to blow up, and I just stuck with the name. But I didn't make that name purposely to be oh, I'm screwed of my name. It's no, it's I worked for the government. I had a clearance at the time, putting your real government name out there, especially when it's unique like mine.
Yeah.
Foolish endeavor. So.
Yeah, usually when people come up with a stage name, they got something in that past they want to hide.
Yeah. Mine was just Myron Gaines. So you guys come from the bodybuilding community. The MISC, the MISC, right? Yeah. Myron Gaines. So I was just that's funny. Let's fucking do that.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah.
Hey, how much did you make as an FBI agent?
So I was with Homeland Security Investigation, HSI, but same thing. They all get paid the same, whether you're DEA, ATF, FBI. It's all job series.
You go by GS levels, right?
GS levels. I was a 13, 3 or 4 before I left. So I was making with COLA, cost of living allowance, which is GS. I was making 120, 130K per year.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
As a 13.
You would think as an FBI agent. Yeah, you would be 500K.
Hell no, bro. No one in the government makes
the president only makes $300,000 a year.
I think 500K.
Is it 500K?
The president makes around 500K.
Oh, inflation, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But he makes 500K, but there's a lot of perks to being a president. An FBI agent look like they would pay more because you'd be easily corruptible.
Yeah, well...
Yeah, I'd be pimping bitches if I was you. I have all kinds of hoes on the
streets. Well, that's why they do your background check for your clearance. One of the biggest things that eliminates people actually is the financial background check. If your credit score is bad, they don't hire you.
That's why they didn't hire me when I got out. No,
I wanted to be a cop when I got to the military.
Oh.
Yeah, they didn't hire you because you was black.
Now you would have passed. The skin color's light enough.
yeah.
Well, what year was this?
This was 1998.
Back in those
99.
days, he dark skinned.
Yeah, I mean,
In California. They said my credit check was bad because my credit score was like 500 or something.
oh yeah, that's a wrap.
And then they said I was like psychologically I couldn't do the job. They did all this.
It's a nice way of saying you're fucking crazy. You're not mentally fit for duty. It means you're fucking crazy. That's what it means.
Okay, I did pass by. I'm like, I looked at some of these cop videos. I'm like, damn, how this dude get hired?
You're right.
Like that Massey video. I thought that cop was kind of crazy.
Which video?
With the pot of water.
Sonya Massey.
Oh, that's a controversial one. I think it was a good shoot.
You think so?
Yeah.
Good shoot.
Personally,
Well,
I would not.
Technically, by law, it was a good shoot, but I was like, damn. Like, technically, she's got up out of hot water, right?
Yeah.
Technically, he can shoot, but damn, you told her to go take the damn pot off the water.
Yeah.
And while you there investigating a prowler, you just turned this bitch into a criminal in her own house. So I was like, damn, this should never happen. A dude go inside of a woman's house after she's calling for help. Hey, I got a prowler at my house. And they show up, and you took it to an extreme. I said, it shouldn't even got to that point because what she said, my mom used to say that shit all the time.
Yeah.
What she say?
Jesus rebukes you.
Rebuke you in the
Yeah,
name
my
of
mama
Jesus.
used to tell
something
me
like
that,
that, yeah.
when I said something stupid
Yeah.
or when I was lying.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
pretty much a euphemism, you a damn lie.
Yeah.
For him to take that as a threat, I was like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But she did have mental
He
problems.
took it as a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
If you take that as a threat, you shouldn't be a police officer.
yeah. There's a lot
This
of
dude's
crazy fuckers.
6'5", 300 pounds, and it's, I don't know, man. It kind of reminded me of my mom. That could have happened to my mom. I was like, no, you know, it's some steps you could have took. It didn't have to go to that point.
Yeah, interesting that we're on this topic. And then you see the thing in Ohio where the guy shot her when she was like driving at him? Shot through the windshield and killed a pregnant woman?
Shoplifter.
Yeah, the shoplifter. You saw that one too?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I did like a Twitter space because everyone on X tends to have an opinion and no one knows who the fuck they are because they all use Anon accounts. But anyway.
Right.
And I basically said on both those shoots, I was like, they're both good. You know, but what I predict is, because if you look where this happened, one in Illinois and then another one was in Ohio, right? I think after the George Floyd riots, basically what's going to end up happening now is if you shoot and kill a person of color, you're probably going to get indicted as a police officer.
Right.
And I think the reason why they're doing that is because basically they want to pass the buck off to the jury, the prosecutors, the DA's office. They can say,
That makes sense.
we're going to go ahead and we're going to indict. We don't want you destroying our cities because obviously we saw what happened with Minneapolis and Minnesota under Tim Walz, by the way.
Right.
Fucking jerk
Yeah.
off.
Right.
So we could talk about that
Minnesota,
next. Let a city get
right.
destroyed. But they're going to do that to take the liability off them because they don't want these people rioting and destroying their cities. And then if you're in a blue city or a blue state, you know they're going to riot. So it's like, all right, let's indict him, put him in jail, let him go ahead and have a trial. And then if he gets found innocent, jury of his peers, it's off our hands. And I think that's where we're going to go as America. And I think that's a bad precedent because it has law enforcement scared to do their job.
Right.
Because, you know, now.
Well, it ain't got white people scared to do that.
Yeah, like.
White people shoot a pot of hot boiling water.
like
She was going to throw it at him, though.
Okay,
she was.
this is the thing. This is the thing.
Yeah.
Personally, if I was a cop, I know I'm psychologically I'm not fit to do the job. I didn't pass the credit check.
Yeah, you would have shot walking in the house. Oh, God, she got a gun. You wouldn't even let her touch the water.
Right.
Personally, if I was in
Bitch, get away from that water.
where you going, bitch?
I can't swim. I thought she was going to throw it at me. Fuck.
Right.
Yeah, I was scared for my life.
Right.
Personally, honestly, I think I would have just walked out. I was like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm gonna go outside while you cool off.
Yeah.
If I felt she was gonna, there's no,
Yeah.
you don't have to kill the bitch.
Yeah.
You can leave.
Yeah.
That's what I would have did.
What was the
I
point?
would have left and called a social worker.
Yeah.
You just sent somebody with a clipboard. Huh?
No, I would have let her cool off.
Yeah.
And get her to
For
come out
me,
the house.
I didn't take it as a threat. I didn't.
Yeah.
So,
So
but it's easy for me to say that I'm not there.
Yeah. And I think it's very important for the audience to kind of understand that, like, when police officers are judged on shootings, they're not judged on 20/20 hindsight. They're always judged on what were the facts available to you at the time, and can you articulate why you used deadly force and was it reasonable? You know, there's a bunch of case law on this, Tennessee versus Garner and a couple other things. But in general, right, you could see in the video, because I like watched it a few times, she comes down and then she says, Jesus rebukes you, which, you know, anyone with common sense is like, you have hot water, holy water, she gonna try to fucking, is this exorcism? She gonna throw this on me? And boiling hot water can really mess you up. So,
Oh, yeah.
of course.
I had a burn.
you know,
I remember
Oh, here we go with this
spaghetti.
bullshit.
We was
Okay.
cooking some spaghetti, right? We was poor.
Man, he
And I
always
remember-
tell a story.
Hey, man, we shut up.
We had to tell this damn spaghetti story.
Well, I think I was like 12 years old.
Yeah.
And we was poor
Man,
as
you
shit.
was like 8 years old when you did that.
Man, can I tell a story?
You
I was
wasn't
like
12.
12.
No, you wasn't.
Well, fuck. Oh, I was in Clearview Elementary. So I was like, what? 8, 9. I started school late.
This is back in the
12
1950s
years
or what?
old, you already jacking off. How you gonna burn yourself a pot of spaghetti at 12 years old?
What are you talking about? How we go from spaghetti to jerking off?
Hey, tell the story.
See?
This is back in the what, 1950s?
He is unfit to be
I
a
don't
police
even think that
officer.
was. You had to get a magazine back then to watch
That's what
porn.
I'm saying. He's unfit to be a police officer, right? That's why they didn't let your ass work for him. Well, anyway, I was in elementary school, and I picked up this, me and my sister was cooking some spaghetti, right?
Yeah.
But the pot, when you picked it up, the pot would tip. The handle was
Handle
broke.
was broke.
And my sister didn't know. So she, the noodles are cooked, right? So my sister was going to throw it in and drain the water out. She picked the pot up, right? I'm standing right there, right? The pot just burnt all this shit. It hit my pee and everything.
Oh, shit.
That shit felt like 10,000 bee stings. And I was screaming, and I was
He's
screaming.
laughing. You tell him how bad it is. He's laughing.
Well,
That shit hurt so bad.
because he
This
said it was
whole area.
burning, so he got an STI for real.
Yeah.
STI for real.
Yeah,
It's
this
just,
whole
oh, shit.
area, it was pink.
Yeah.
Like days. My mom didn't even take me to the hospital.
Oh,
I think
damn.
I had like at least 2nd-degree burns. But that
No
shit
Obamacare back then.
Yeah, no. And I was thinking, I was like, I went through that experience, right? But I've never felt threatened by her going over there taking the hot boiling water off.
The reason why I don't think he should have been threatened, he
Yeah.
told her to go away from the pot of
Yeah.
pot of hot boiling water. But
Hey,
why?
can you pull up that video, Chris?
But hold on, let me say
Yeah.
this. Let me say this.
Yeah.
Let me say this.
We're gonna say
It'd
it.
be good to watch it, actually.
Yeah.
If he feels like he's threatened, his life is in danger. Why is he walking over there?
Oh, I'll tell you
full
why.
story.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you why. So, typically when you're in someone's house, right? Like they always teach you in the academy, the most dangerous thing is the hands, right?
Right.
And when she's at the counter, he doesn't know what she has there, right? And he was already, you could tell from the body language, like, yo, something's off with this
Maybe
chick.
a gun or something.
So he's like, yo, let me make sure I can see her. So he's like making sure he could see what's going on back there. Because the house was really messed up. There were things all over the place.
Right.
He doesn't know if she could grab a weapon or whatever. Because like in the academy,
Right.
man, they like literally drill this into you. Like, always watch the hands. Always watch the hands. You know, they can close the distance on you with a knife in literally 2 seconds. So he's making sure to see what she's doing back over there.
Oh, after she put the pot down.
Yeah, like that's why he walked up closer to see what was going on. And then he did give her a warning. Maybe it might have not been the best way. He said, I'll
Yeah.
fucking shoot you.
Yeah, my
But-
biggest criticism
yeah.
of him after she ducked, I said he should have said move away from the water if he felt threatened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Come
like when
over
he
to me.
pursued her, when he went around the corner with the gun, she actually picks up the water again because I think
Yeah.
she's actually trying to protect her life at that point.
Yeah.
She's so
I mean-
scared, and she has mental illness.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's why I felt bad about the shooting.
Yeah, and the other thing too, I think that's important to know is like, you know, cops aren't psychiatrists, so like they're not. That's 2020 hindsight. We find out after the
Yeah.
fact that she wasn't all the way
Yeah, we
up
money-
there. Some
money
marbles loose,
quarterback.
but like, but you know, when it comes to use of force, it's always like what happened when at the time when the shots were fired, and obviously, you know, he got arrested or whatever. And then there's people talking about, well, he got fired from this department and fired from that department. That doesn't really matter. And if he gets a good, halfway decent defense attorney, they're going to make sure that doesn't come in because what they're going to judge him on is the incident that day. The other stuff, if he has a good attorney, we'll probably make sure that doesn't come in because then that's going to make
white. They're
that's
gonna
gonna
bring
make-
all that shit in.
they're going to try to.
He ain't got.
They're
no
going to try.
attorney.
Yeah, they're going to try for sure.
Yeah.
But I think with the defense attorney, if he's smart, he's going to say, look, this is prejudicial. It's going to make it where it's biased. We got to judge him on the facts and circumstances of that day.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But no, I mean, we could definitely look at it.
Pull up our video, Chris, and you can keep. Yeah.
I don't know. When he came out the house and all those other cops out there, it was looking like, damn, dude, I already seen the body cam. You guilty as shit.
Yeah.
I think if he gets a halfway decent attorney, he'll beat it.
Hey,
I think so.
I don't think it matters to the attorney. It matters who's on that jury.
Yeah, of course.
If he gets
You get 3 black people.
if he get just one black juror on there, that black juror is gonna bully all those other white people. You racist. You better find him. Yeah, because she did actually throw the water at him.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
she
yeah.
did.
Well, okay, before we even show the video, she on her knees like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even if you was down on your knees with a pot of, I mean, how far can you throw that?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. You don't know if like when I was like, and this is why it's so important. Like everyone has different interpretations. Like she could have been like bending down to get the energy to hoist it up and toss it even further.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could interpret it that way as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, the point is that like she tried to throw the water. He shot her beforehand because you can see in the video how like the water like splashed forward and was gonna go. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and then the one with Ohio, you know, the chick was stealing like alcohol at a liquor store. And you know, the cop jumps in because one cop makes contact with her on the side, and then the other one gets in front, and she, you know, and he gives her verbal commands like, "Hey, get out the car, get out the car," and then she hits the gas anyway. At that point, you're done. Like they're gonna shoot you. You know, and he hit her. I think one time, boom, killed her immediately. And you know, people obviously, she was pregnant, blah blah. Look, bro, they're not gonna know that she's pregnant at the time, and she just made a really bad decision. Like this is why I tell people, like, bro, if you deal with the police, always comply. Always make sure your hands are visible.
Yeah, she actually hit the police officer first.
She did hit him, yeah. She did hit him with the car, and he got out the way a little bit and shot her.
Yeah, but you know what people are going to say?
But they arrested him too.
Yeah, I know. What people are going to say, that police officer that shot the girl for shoplifting, I get the impression when he stepped in front of that car, he's like, I want to shoot this girl. That's the impression I got, because once he tries to pursue him or touch him with the car, automatically he has the right to shoot and kill her.
Yeah.
I coming from this point of view, you know she is, you got your body cam on, you can identify this woman, just pick her up at her house.
See, that could be true, right?
Yeah.
Like you could always do that, but let's be honest here, right? You got her in front of you, adrenaline's pumping. The other thing too, you guys are former military, you guys are former Marines. You guys already know about the tactical
Don't forget, I was a loss prevention agent for 6 years. Arrested over 2,000 shoplifters.
I did loss prevention too.
Never killed anybody.
But you didn't get no guns, man. I did loss prevention too. We don't get no guns.
Right.
But no, like, you know, obviously he had the tactical L as well, right? To avoid the crossfire. So that's another reason too why he put himself there. Because if you try to go on the other side window and something pops off, because they teach you that in the academy, set yourself up where if you do have to draw your gun and shoot, no one else is in danger. So I think instinctively from his training, you know, he's got to create an off angle and go in front. That was the only place he could really, you know, give her loud verbal commands where it makes sense. Because if he did it from behind the car, she's like, what the fuck? You know, it's not going to make sense versus the person that was to her side. So, you know, it's an unfortunate situation, but I think his training kicked in. He took that out, and then she ran at him and he shot her. And, you know, people are just dumb, man. But I don't think he purposely. That's why they hit him with manslaughter. I don't think he purposely said, "I'm gonna kill this bitch." It's just like,
as soon as he got in that car, he said, "Yep, he wants to kill her."
But then as far as like, as far as like,
I know these cops, man. These cops. I work for security guards. They're crazy. I know cops are even crazy. Because I used to, when I used to arrest shoplifters, I was in Long Beach.
It was where?
I was in Long Beach, California.
Oh shit!
Right? So I was in the hood.
Yeah, you arrested.
I just arrested.
You grabbing a bunch of people.
I arrested a couple of Negroes, right? And I say, hey, dude, you got a huge attitude problem. I said, man, if this one cop comes here, don't talk shit. Just be polite. He's going to treat you like a human being. But I say, as soon as you disrespect him, he's going to put you up against that wall, right? And this man, he's
Which
scared.
store did y'all work for loss prevention?
Ross Dress for Less.
Ross Dress for Less?
Yeah, Ross Dress for Less,
Yeah, probably the best loss prevention agents that ever worked for that.
Yeah, we should go down in the Hall
I mean,
of
if you
Fame.
go back at it and say, I heard the Hodgetwins were, damn, there's some damn good agents. But anyway, the cop shows up. The cop
What year was this?
Man, just a long time ago. I just fresh out of the military.
It was 2000.
It was 2004. It was before 9/11.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it was before 9/11.
Bro, you guys old as fuck, bro.
Actually, I got
Yo,
promoted
y'all niggas
to
old, man. I forget how old you niggas are, man. God damn.
Yeah, I'm going to be 50 this year. Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 34.
Damn.
Man, I remember those days.
That's the good old days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
could used to
50?
shoot across the room.
God damn, 50.
But anyway, let me finish my
See,
story.
you just totally missed my joke.
What'd you say?
So you used to be able to shoot across
That
the room.
Long Beach cop showed up, right? This dude started talking shit. He picked up by his neck and slammed his head into the wall like 3 times.
Really? Was this before or after Rodney King?
After.
It was after.
Rodney
they
King.
get
I
no
ain't that
fucks.
old. I ain't that
Well, I just had to
I was
know.
in high school with Rodney
Yeah,
King.
hey, man. I just had to double check.
Yeah, I was in high school. Yeah, I was in high school.
Yeah.
Damn. How old were y'all when OJ
I
was in boot camp.
I was in boot camp.
I was 19.
They put that shit on TV.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that shit was a spectacle. I still think to this day that was the biggest case in American history. I think one of the biggest ones.
Yeah, I think so too.
It was televised everywhere.
Yeah, do you think he's innocent?
Bro. And hell no. We all know he. But here's
I
the
was
thing.
looking at Judge Joe Brown, and his
What Judge Joe Brown say, Kevin?
he's innocent from the video I saw.
Fuck no.
Put it up, Judge Joe Brown.
Oh, here
on,
we go. We
O.J.
talking about
Simpson.
OJ today?
No, we just talking.
Well, I'll say this, because I covered this case extensively, and I've
Yeah.
done
The
so
blood
much
evidence
research
is
on this case.
irrefutable.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
but here's the thing. there was DNA in Nicole Simpson's nails and African American hair fibers that didn't match OJ.
I didn't know that.
So, and I've said this for a bit, he didn't do it alone. Right. And if you guys look at the crime
Biden
scene,
and
the
Kamala
photos
have failed
fucking
Nevada
terrible. She was
families.
nearly decapitated.
Yeah.
Right.
It was blood everywhere. He didn't do it himself. He had an accomplice. I think it was his son.
Yeah, that's why I hear his son.
Yeah, his son had anger issues. Hated Nicole Simpson. Huge. Chef. Clearly, he's good with a knife. Former military, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Had mental instability problems as well. Known to be violent. And I don't think he was from a prior marriage.
Right.
So,
His first wife.
yeah.
And he left his first wife for Nicole.
Yes.
So that's probably why he had a lot of resentment for
So he had a lot of issues. So so I think if anything, he helped him because the other guy that died, Goldman,
Yeah.
right? He was a young guy, fit,
Right. Yeah,
had some martial arts
athletic.
training, etc. OJ at this point was old as fuck, man.
Arthritis, too.
Arthritis, all that. So I'm like in my head, there's like you wouldn't have been able to subdue two people like that with that level of carnage by yourself. And then the fact that we had all this DNA that showed that there was someone else at the scene, it tells you. And then also another thing that they shelved this interview back in like 2006. OJ did an interview saying like, if I did it hypothetically, and he went into like a hypothetical.
Yeah, I saw it. He came out with the knife and shit.
Yeah, and he said that like, oh yeah, like I was with my buddy and he told me not to do it, and then I got the knife and then I just blacked out, and then everyone was on the floor dead. But even in his hypothetical, he says that he didn't do it himself.
Yeah.
So everyone knows, like, well, not everyone knows, but like people think that he did it. I think he did it, of course, but he had to help.
Right.
100% had help. I think it was his son.
Right. Did you find that clip? Josh O'Brien, pull it up. This is what.
Well, his number's in my phone. I've known him since 1966. He and I discussed what his strategy was.
Johnny
There is a reality, and his strategy dovetailed into the reality. They did not have a case against him. I listened to every scrap of the trial. I recorded it in my chambers, court chambers. I was a bachelor then. And I would listen to Nancy Grace, who would say, the evidence against OJ was devastating. There's no way he'll escape the consequences for this. So I said, who is this Nancy Grace? And I'd listen to it. I said, wait a minute, what is she talking about? It doesn't get any better than that. The impound lot guy has just testified that he and his buddies went through the Bronco. There wasn't a drop of blood in it. They went through it with a fine-tooth comb. It was locked in a special enclosure that had 4 padlocks. They didn't have the keys to them, only the detectives did. They were instructed to tow the car down to the crime lab 11 days later, and now it's full of blood. Where did the blood come from? All right? The DNA evidence against OJ is devastating. And when I listened to what the expert said, he said, this is not OJ. First off, this is someone similar, but there are approximately 96,000 people in LA County that would match this DNA profile, which, by the way, and this is interesting, reflects someone from Northeast Mediterranean ancestry or perhaps from the island of Sicily. We also get something that didn't pick up in newspapers or television. They had 2 people who were testifying remotely in the Federal Witness Protection Program who dated Nicole's sisters. Their testimony was that it was a message to them to keep silent or their girlfriends, Nicole's sisters, would get exterminated. So where were they from? That hypothetical organization that's got contacts with Sicily. Now, it just happens that I know personally the guy that made the gloves. I know personally, in fact, he was my brother, the person that was the expert knife killing that the prosecution called. Now, let's start with the glove. This person told me out his own mouth, and so did Johnny Cochran, they took a tracing of everybody's hand. OJ is a big dude. I knew him personally from college. And he wore a size, not XL, but 2XL. The glove was a size L, so they knew it wasn't gonna fit. But guess who wore a size L? Furman. Guess who found the glove? Furman. under a half foot of dead leaves 75 feet into OJ's dark backyard, supposedly. All right? Now, my brother, who did not testify in front of the jury, when he was asked to assess the knife killing, he said, first off, OJ is a right-handed guy. Whoever did this killing is a left-handed person. Said each of the victims, Nicole and Goldman, were struck by a fatal blow with a knife turned sideways that slid in next to the central cartilage in the rib cage that tore up the aorta and upper two chambers of the heart. Then their throats were slit ear to ear, and somebody used some pliers to pull their tongues out through the slit throat. That's called a Colombian necktie. And meanwhile, in the blood, when they took him out on the scene, since he dealt with this kind of forensics, he says there's somebody that has a size 9 shoe and somebody that wore a size 10.5 shoe that's leaving tracks. OJ wears a size 12. And the blood that they supposedly say they found because somebody got a slight wound on something like a finger, that's the sample that has 96,000 other people in LA County that could have donated it. And it definitely wasn't OJ, but Nancy Grace said it was. Now, the problem was also this, planting evidence. The jury saw this, and Cochran brilliantly used it in final argument, a split screen. There had been so many instances where people were accusing LAPD of coming in and stealing from upscale homes that they had a security squad that would be sent in to video a scene before the crime scene detectives started their work so you could see what was in there. Well, 1:14 on the clock in the video, you can see them video the foot of the bed. There are no bloody socks. There are no socks in there at all. It's well lit. About 5 minutes later, you can hear this, "Sir, who are you?" And you can hear somebody who is identifying himself as Detective Furman, and they tell him he has to leave immediately. The jury saw this. Cochran is arguing from this at final argument. A few minutes later, "Sir, didn't we tell you you had to leave? Detective Furman, isn't it?" "Yes, sir. You got to go out of here right now." And they pan the camera around, and where is Furman? You can see through 2 doors into the bedroom. Furman is standing right there at the foot of the bed. 35 minutes later, when crime scene's in there, right where you saw it, 1:14, no socks at all, completely clear, right where you later saw Furman, you see now bloody socks. Now, what's the inference? Furman planted the bloody socks. You find that Furman has testified he found the size X glove that fits him that does not fit OJ, but his story is he finds it under a half foot of leaves deep inside OJ's backyard after he climbs the fence. Furman lives 28 miles away. He's off duty, but for some reason, he comes to the scene 5 minutes after the murder occurs. He also was subject to testimony that he had been over to visit Nicole at least 11 times, and he was trying to talk to her, date her. There was also evidence that the jury here heard that, by the way, Nancy Grace said nothing about, where OJ caught her giving a head job to somebody on the couch, having sex with somebody on the couch, and the witnesses all say he was mad, but in the lines of, "Don't you know that the kids could come down and catch you? Why don't you deal with somebody who's not so broke they don't have an apartment or a hotel or a motel. If you need it, goddamn it, I'll give you the money. Just don't spend it on drugs.
You know,
Kind of wild, right?
yeah. I mean, and here's the thing: that's your job as a defense attorney, right? Is to like kind of just distill the water a bit and you know create a little bit of reasonable doubt, and they were able to do that. But we all know OJ did that shit, man.
Yeah.
Like he had the motive and everything else like that. I just think that he didn't do it by himself.
Yeah.
Is the big one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm surprised that he's.
He's a straight arrow too.
Yeah.
Every time I listen to him, I find it to be very truthful. I don't.
Yeah.
And
It
Furman-
rings true.
it rings true.
Yeah. No,
And
those
he's-
are some good points that he mentioned. But you know, obviously, yeah, we all know Furman is fucking incompetent idiot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the first time I heard about Furman potentially having a relationship with Nicole.
That's my first time hearing.
I never heard about that before.
That's my first time hearing that OJ wore a 2X glove and did he wear a size 12 shoe, but the tracks were 9.
Well, the
and
other
10.
thing too that people forget is that he wore a glove and his hands were swollen at the time because he has really bad arthritis, like you guys were saying it
Right,
before.
right.
So like, of course, it wasn't gonna fit. But you know, his cockroach was like, "Yes, let him wear the glove." Which actually, I forget who the ADA was at the time that suggested
black
it.
guy,
It was a
remember
black guy. He's a dumbass. He literally lost the trial off of doing that.
Right.
I think, and to this day, it still burns him. Like,
Yeah.
He
and
made that.
black people love nursery rhymes. What do you say? If it don't fit, you
You
must
must
acquit.
acquit. Yep.
That's all you need to do.
Yeah,
to
that's
win
all
over
you
a black
remember.
juror.
You know, that's the slogan, and that's what.
You're
That's,
racist as hell, man.
You asked, we answered.
Woo! Yeah.
We just started a brand new giveaway.
Brand new giveaway.
We giving away a Polaris ATV. It's a Sportsman 450. It's got a 500cc engine in it.
That's all kinds of CC.
It's all kinds of CCs, and it's perfect for working on the farm, doing donuts in the field, or whatever you white people like to do.
Just make sure you don't flip that bitch. Every dollar you spend gets you in it to win.
And our 69 Charger General Lee, and plus $10,000 in cash.
Go to officialhodgetwins.com and get in it today.
Yeah!
No purchase necessary. Board where prohibited. See official rules for details. Yeah. Hey, Kamala's doing it at the DNC.
oh man,
She's using quotes by Quavo, whatever his name is.
yeah. He was supposed to show up when we were catching pedophiles with Vitaly, and he didn't show up. He like just took
Who's
the
that?
money and Quavo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was out with Vitaly. We were out in California, in LA, catching pedophiles, right? And
Right.
because he does his streams doing that stuff. And I used to like do it when I was on the job, like going after pedophiles.
Right.
So, you know, it's like you know, it's my lane. So
Yeah.
Quavo was supposed to come out and help out.
Really? Okay.
And he didn't show up, dude. He like went to like 2 weed dispensaries and never showed up.
Well, what
Yeah,
a flake.
and he
Did
like
you
he
get paid
took
for
the-
that, or?
and yeah, they put a deposit down. Thankfully, they were able to get the money back. But bro, like rappers are degenerates, man.
Yeah.
They're really like I hate interviewing them. They're the worst. They always stink. They smell like weed. They fucking want to come in with their entire entourage and sit.
Right.
You sit down, try to do an interview with them. They're low IQ and retarded.
I got this story, man.
So
I think I
fucking
was
crazy, bro.
We was on the road doing comedy shows, and we was in Saks
Fairfax?
Fifth Avenue.
Okay.
Saks Fifth Avenue, right?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And we was standing in the shoe department, and all I smelled was weed. So I turned around, T.I. is standing right behind me.
Oh, really?
Oh, my God.
And I looked
What
up
year was
like,
this?
Man, this was
This one was in the fitness.
Oh,
About
2016, around that time.
Okay.
2016. And he had this whole entourage. The whole Saks Fifth Avenue smelled like weed.
Yeah. We smelled the weed before we even bumped into
Yeah,
him. I
bro.
said, man, who the hell is smoking all this weed?
bro.
There's T.I. and his entourage.
Dude, they're the worst. And like if you interview like maybe older rappers from like the early
Yeah.
2000s, 90s, they're gonna be a bit higher IQ. You get a good interview. But like these new school rappers, man, these mumble rappers, SoundCloud guys,
Right.
idiots, bro.
Yeah.
Absolute idiots, man. Like they can't do an interview, low IQ, limited vocabulary. They're always high or on some kind of drug. It's really pathetic. So I don't even like interviewing rappers, bro. Like I pretty much said I'm done. I'm not gonna do this shit no more.
Just bring in OnlyFans girls, huh?
Yeah, that's dude. I'd rather talk to them.
Entertaining.
Right.
Yeah, like it's like, goddamn, man. Because at least with them, it's like, because this is the thing when we bring these girls in, right? Like, there's always like, you know, 1 or 2 girls that like everyone remembers because they're being annoying as hell. But like a majority of the girls actually are like not morons. Like the girls that are the most quiet, they agree. They just don't want to say anything and be offensive.
Right.
You know, they don't like feminism. They think it's bullshit. They think it's a lie, etc. But like, they don't want to say it on. You know, a lot of these girls have like regular jobs and shit, so they'll just be quiet. Like, and then after the show, I agree with you, but I didn't want to say.
Oh,
too
no
much.
shit.
Or I didn't want to offend the girls. Yeah, all the time. All the time they say that. All the time. Because, dude, you know how women are, man. They're not confrontational.
Right.
They go with the flow.
Right.
You know, every revolution was been fought by men, not women. You know what I mean?
Right.
So what do women do? Just make sandwiches and be quiet, man. That's the best thing.
They help, man. They help you get off though.
Yeah, that too. That too.
Help you bust them nuts.
Yeah.
Hey,
Get them nuts tight.
But speaking of the DNC, man, which is going on right now, that clown show
you
over
went
there.
to the DNC?
No, I went to the RNC.
RNC. Okay.
DNC, I don't think they let conservative creators in there like that.
They sneaking in. Charlie Kirk went.
Charlie Kirk, well, yeah, but he probably pulled some strings. But like I was told that like they're not going to let a majority of conservative creators in. But it's funny because at the RNC we let the liberal weirdos in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Young Turks had a whole booth and they were streaming the whole fucking time. And
Well,
a couple
don't
other
forget
people.
we're a threat against democracy, so I understand why they won't let us come in.
Exactly.
We
you know?
want to shut that bitch down.
I watched the first 2 days and like the first day, man, like it's so crazy. Like they were just like really harping on abortion, right? And they had like these 3 girls in there. Did you guys watch the DNC?
No.
All right. So as you guys know, they're super pro-abortion, right? And the 3 girls that they came to talk about like abortion, like they were all like, oh, if I didn't do the abortion, like I would have died, or I was gonna miscarriage,
I saw that
or
clip.
blood loss, or some shit like that.
yeah.
And then one girl was like, I was assaulted, and in my head I'm like, wait, hold on one second.
Statistically, that's impossible.
Yeah, like most of the time when girls get abortions, it's for being fucking sluts.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not because of what you guys are saying here, which are that's reasonable. If like you're gonna die or you were sexually assaulted, for sure you should be able to get an abortion,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
But in these situations, what they're describing, this is a minority of the case, and I love how like they pushed that to the forefront
Right,
to like
right.
rationalize it. Then they went ahead and lied and said, "Oh yeah, Trump is like not allowing women to have
That's a lie, yes.
pro-choice. They're not
Total
allowing
lie.
them to make choices
It's
about
up
their
to
own
15
body."
weeks or something like that.
And I was like, that's a fucking lie because number one, it's not him. You want to talk about the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court didn't even make that decision because all they did was delegate it to the states.
Right.
So hey, you dumb bitch, go complain to your fucking governor. Go
Right.
complain to your local.
Right. Yeah.
Lawmakers. Don't complain about this from the presidential level. Like Trump did the smart thing.
Right.
He was because I think the whole abortion issue is like a lose-lose. If
Right.
you're okay, well, women should have pro-choice. By the
Yeah.
traditional conservatives, the Christians, etc., the religious people, they're gonna say baby killer. But then if you say I'm pro-life, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, oh, you're a misogynist. You don't let women have choice. Blah blah. So it's like he did the smart thing and said, you know what, man, fuck this shit. I'm passing it to the states.
Yeah.
So they lied on him,
opinion
dude.
on that on abortion.
On abortion, I think up to a certain period of time. In Florida, we have it up to 6 weeks. I think that's reasonable.
6 weeks.
I think 6 weeks is reasonable. But like in some places like New York or California,
Yeah.
damn near 8-9 months.
Yeah,
Like they
right.
could kill the kid. That's fucking unacceptable.
That's weird.
So, I tend to be far right on most of my political views. But
Yeah.
as far as like that's the one thing that I'm like kind of like
I like
in
how
the
you
middle.
say that. I'm far right on most of my political views.
I am.
Yeah.
I don't think women should vote.
Right.
I think there's 2 fucking
How about
genders.
her, man? She looks pretty intelligent, though, man.
Nah, she can't vote.
You ain't gonna let your girl vote.
Yeah, like I don't think women should be able to vote. Like, and the thing is, if they are allowed to vote, I think they should have certain. They need to have skin in the game, right?
Right.
So like, as you guys are former military, like we have to go into selective service, right? Like at 18 years old, or else you might go to jail, you might get a fine, etc. So I look at it like, look, you got to have some skin in the game. Either government service, military service, own some property, you do
Police
some kind of
officer,
public
something,
service.
huh?
Yeah, you got to do something like that where you have the ability to vote. Because the problem is that we allow too many idiots to vote, right? Like men, we already get skin in the game once we're 18, so I think you should be able to vote, right? As a guy. Also, I don't think women should be in the military or in law enforcement, right? Especially in frontline positions.
Who gonna suck us off?
Huh?
Who gonna suck us
Who gonna
off?
suck us off in the squad car?
I gotta get sucked off, dude.
That's why.
Yeah, there should be in administrative positions.
Yeah.
I
I don't think gays should be allowed to get married. I think, if you guys want to go ahead and
You know what? You know how I feel about gays getting married? I mean, if they want to have the same rights as a marriage, I'm all about that, but don't call it marriage.
Yeah.
Because I think it's between a man and a woman.
you guys can have a civil union. You get
Yeah,
all
exactly.
the same benefits. You guys could go
Yeah.
ahead and deal with the divorce court just like the rest
Right,
of us.
right.
But the whole concept of giving them a marriage, which is a religious
Sacrament.
institution,
Yeah.
is fucking ridiculous, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, controversial take, but I do genuinely believe Obama, formalizing it through legislation, allowing them to get married, that was where we fucked up and why we have the whole alphabet community now.
Yeah, we got
Like the
men in
wildness.
women's restrooms, men competing against females.
It started
all
there.
started there. Yeah.
Like if you actually trace it back, it started there because,
Yeah.
like I always say, feminism is the tip of the tip of the spear, right? Like that kind of starts the whole
Process.
leftist movement. Because once it goes, because feminism is like in the lead, and then you got the civil rights, and you got the alphabet rights, and everything follows feminism. So, so I think that was where we kind of messed up. So that's my take. They shouldn't be able to get married. Two genders. I think anyone that identifies as anything else needs to go to a mental institution.
Right.
And I got some other views as well that might not be safe for you too, but I'll just end it there.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
I think women should have a right to get an abortion up to a certain time.
yeah.
well, I
think
say 6 weeks. What do you say?
6 weeks, around 6 weeks, probably.
6 weeks is a long time. How you have unprotected sex and you go longer than 6 weeks before you get a birth control?
Yeah, women know when they miss their periods. Women should be like proactive
Yeah.
when it comes to that.
You
6
got the
weeks
day
is good
after
enough.
pill. You can,
Yeah, you got that
can
too.
pull out too.
Yeah, yeah.
6
like-
weeks is good.
Huh?
I don't think 6 weeks is good, but I don't like any states banning it because they use it against Republicans in an election. Look what they did in Arkansas. Look what they did in the state.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be banned in any state.
I would argue it's the Democrats' strongest tool.
yeah,
Yeah, it is.
Is abortion and the whole thing too. So like watching the DNC right now and watching this whole Kamala campaign, like it just proves how Democrats campaign. It's all fucking smoke and mirrors.
Right.
They're
They're good politicians.
They're good politicians, and the thing that they beat the Republicans on, they beat our asses on this, is they're better at marketing.
Right.
They're better at getting the young crowd. They're better at being cool. Like look at how
Right.
they're campaigning now.
Yeah.
JD Vance is weird.
Yeah.
Trump is weird. Like
Yeah.
they
They
have
had
like
Lil Jon at the latest rally. Yeah.
like they're able to like who do we have? Fucking Kid Rock. What is it? 2002? The fuck is going on? I was there at
they
the
got
RNC
people
too.
twerking. And,
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She brought her first rally. She brings out Quavo. She brings on Meg Thee Stallion. She brings on relevant people. I guarantee Beyonce's endorsing her now. I wouldn't be surprised if Beyonce doesn't perform at the DNC.
Yeah.
I heard
Taylor Swift
is going to come
is
out.
going to endorse her in the future. I think what
Right.
they're going to do is they're going to have her endorse in October.
Yeah.
Like right before the election. So like Democrats are just better at marketing, right? And then
Right.
also the other thing too that Kamala's team is doing fantastically is they're keeping her away from interviews,
Yeah.
press conferences.
Same thing they did with Joe.
Exactly, right? And they're having her just do these rallies, bringing in cool people, etc. So like she's the cool candidate. Then they brought in this guy Waltz, who
Right.
I would say like
He's actually a good speaker.
yes, he is.
Yeah.
And he has he's a Caucasian white guy. He's a white guy, right?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
he
And
dresses like
he's funny too.
yeah, and he dresses like a like a hillbilly every now and then. Wears
right.
the camo shit.
Yeah.
So like he could go ahead and pull in these like
Yep.
traditionally Republican voters. So like they're kind of covering all bases here. And then also Kamala's like fighting like for we're gonna give you your reproductive rights, whatever. So she's won the women over.
Oh yeah,
Right.
definitely.
Even
Like-
though Trump and everybody want to push it up to 15 weeks when you can do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But they're lying and saying that he's against
I
that
know.
stuff.
Like-
It's
Yeah.
so crazy. I'm looking at all these Kamala ads, right, about that same issue, right? And at the very bottom, in small fine print, they got up to 15 weeks.
Yeah,
And I was like, how disingenuous is that? I
yeah.
was like,
It's all smoke and mirrors with the Democrats.
Yeah.
She still has not been able to like put out like real policy. She talked about this $25,000 for first-time home buyers, and
That's crazy,
Well,
though.
what's
paying for that?
That's cap, bro. I'm a
Yeah.
real estate investor. I already know what's gonna happen, right? So I'm real heavy into residential, right? Got 21 properties. I already know if you do that, put it past this stupid ass shit, they're just gonna increase the price of the house.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Oh yeah. You're
More
using this.
people are gonna be in the
You're
market
using
to
this
buy for
loan
the
or
price.
this grant. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna up the price. 400K. Now it's 425.
So
Asshole.
she's talking about giving them 25,000.
Yeah, for them for first-time home buyers.
Inflation.
And who's gonna pay for it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like who's gonna pay for
We
it?
gonna pay for
the
it.
middle class pays for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's who ends up paying for it.
Oh, I ain't going to pay for it.
Yeah, y'all ain't gonna pay for it. I'm not gonna pay for it.
I got assets.
Yeah, exactly.
You got assets.
Yeah,
You got 21
we're not
homes.
paying for it.
Oh, we got that.
Yeah.
You going to make me rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and they don't get it. Like it's the middle class that pays for the majority of the shit.
Yeah.
And then she's talking about, I'm gonna go after the grocery stores that are trying to price gouge
Yeah,
for
that's
inflation or whatever.
stupid.
Look, the real problem, right? And this is where so many Americans are stupid, and we could talk about this, is the higher food prices actually came from the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Like if you look at food
Yep,
prices
the Russia-
prior to that conflict, they were significantly cheaper. But obviously Ukraine is like the breadbasket of Europe. So Russia comes in, that's going to create issues. And anytime there's conflict, it increases the price of everything because things aren't stable. People don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Energy goes up. When energy
Gas-
goes up, then
gas
food
went
goes
up.
up alongside it. It's like a domino effect. So
Right.
my biggest thing, and I'd love to get your guys' take on this as well. What I'm voting for is foreign fucking policy. I think that's the most important thing that Americans need to vote for
That's
because
what's going to affect us the most.
yes, and it's the only thing that we don't have control over. So like if a president comes in and you're a brokey, well, guess what? You're probably going to stay a brokey no matter who's in office.
Right.
If you're a dummy, you're going to stay a dummy no matter who's in office, right?
Right.
But the one thing that you really can't control is foreign policy, which then comes back and affects you because that's on our leaders, the president especially. Governors can't help you with this. Nobody. It's going to be the president and the vice president. So we're in the middle of a war right now with Ukraine and Russia, right? We're giving money to a losing
we were
fight.
buying gas from Russia, and then we stopped. That's why our gas prices went through the roof.
Yeah.
When you raise the price of gas, everything else goes up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a saying out there, sanctions don't hurt rich people, it hurts the middle class.
It does.
On both sides.
Yeah, and so we sanction them, right? And obviously, and here's the thing: Russia's like won the. I would argue they've won the conflict. People might say, "No, they didn't. They didn't take over Ukraine."
I've
that
seen all
wasn't
these
their
stories
intention.
that Ukraine is still winning that battle.
They're such idiots,
Yeah.
and that's American propaganda to like continue to facilitate us
Fund
spending
it.
billions upon billions upon billions of dollars.
Fund it,
But they control 20% of Ukraine. All of Eastern Ukraine is theirs now.
That's what he wanted.
Yeah, and that's what he wanted. He wanted NATO to stop encroaching on Moscow. The areas that he took over are a bunch of ethnically Russian people.
Right.
So Crimea obviously is a tactical advantage for the Red Sea or whatever it may be. So it's like, dude, they got what they needed.
Dude, I had Omni Liberal on here. I said, why do you think he's invading Russia? You know Omni Liberal.
Destiny, yeah.
Destiny. He came on. I said, why do you think he's
Dude, me and him
Ukraine?
argue on everything.
That dude's so disingenuous. He's just lying
I
about
said,
everything.
why do you think he's invading Ukraine? He said, because he's a maniac.
Yeah.
That's his argument. He's a man. Oh, he just wants to kill people. I said, come on, dude.
Yeah.
It's deeper than that.
Yeah.
We violated the Minsk agreements. And if you watch the Putin interview with Tucker Carlson, everyone tries to give Tucker Carlson a hard time about it. I think it was a great interview.
Yeah.
Because he outlines how the United States has lied to him forever. Like, he actually wanted to come in and join NATO and be an ally.
Right.
Since Clinton. But this is the thing. They don't want to bring Russia in because if you bring Russia in, there's no need for NATO to exist.
Right.
There's no need for the military-industrial complex. You need an enemy to substantiate
So
the
far, we
arms
got
race.
Russia and China.
Exactly. So you need an enemy to substantiate it. So
Yeah.
of course they don't want to work with Russia and they want to keep them in an adversarial role. It
Right.
justifies our military-industrial complex, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, all these assholes.
Yeah.
So I would argue that is what contributed to a lot of the food price increases because gas and everything else you
Gas
said.
went up.
And then we lost the war. Like they said, oh, I'm going to take Kiev in 3 days, and look, 3 years later they didn't. Bro, they got what they needed. They're using the ruble on all of Eastern Europe. It's gone. Like Zelensky's just got to take that. Then on top of that, we got in a conflict in fucking Israel. Iran might bomb these guys any day now, right? And a lot of Americans don't know this, but like literally a couple weeks ago, Israel. Because so Netanyahu comes to the United States, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Addresses Congress, all this other shit. They clapped for him 51 fucking times. I counted it. 51 times, right? I was on stream watching it. And then he's like basically going in there, we need to have an alliance with the Arab countries, the Abraham Alliance, all this crap. And then he says, Iran's the enemy, whatever, just like he did back in 2002, 2003, right after 9/11 when we were justified invading Iraq, right?
Right.
And then he meets with Biden. He meets with Trump, and then he secretly meets with Kamala because Kamala didn't go when he did the speech.
Right.
Because she's a Democrat. She knows that a lot of people are pro-Palestine on the left. So she did it secretly, right?
Right.
So after that, a week later, what ends up happening? They bomb Beirut, Lebanon. They kill one of the top guys in Hezbollah, right? Then they kill and assassinate a guy named Ismail Haniyeh, who was the head of Hamas political wing. Well, that was the guy that was responsible for negotiating with the fucking with IDF and the Israeli government for the hostages.
Really?
So you killed the hostage negotiator. You killed one of the top guys in Hezbollah, right? And then that same day, I think the United States killed a high-level guy for the IRGC in Iraq, if I'm not mistaken. So, and this was all within 24 hours. They killed these guys. So it's like, do you guys want to start a fucking world war in the fucking region? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And obviously for Iran, not only did they kill Ismail Haniyeh, who's the negotiator, they killed him in Tehran, Iran. He was there for a presidential inauguration because the former president had gotten killed in a helicopter crash. So this dude was there to see the inauguration, and they killed him on foreign soil of an adversary. So that's incredibly embarrassing to the Iranians. Right? So they're like,
they have to respond.
Now they have to respond, right? So they've shot a couple missiles and everything else like that, just like they did back in April. But it's like, why are we allowing Netanyahu to provoke and start a serious conflict in the Middle East? And this is why we need Trump in. Like, for all the dummies out there that don't understand foreign policy, you need a strong president in to reel in people like Netanyahu who are warmongers and want to go ahead and create issues, because Netanyahu knows if they get into a real conflict, the United States is going to help them. We already got 4,000 troops that went over to the Middle East to protect them right now. We're spending billions of dollars just keeping them in place to protect them from getting bombed.
Using our budget to fund them.
Yeah, and we did that. Why? Because he wanted to go ahead and assassinate 2 people in 24 hours of his adversaries in foreign countries. So it's like, bro, we don't want to get dragged into another war and have American troops die for you guys. So I think with Trump in, number one, he was never a supporter of NATO like that. So that's why I think he kept Russia at bay, why we didn't go to war. And then with Netanyahu, he's going to be able to, look, bro, you guys want U.S. support, et cetera, you guys got to fucking end this conflict. You know, do what you got to do, get it done, but we got to end this stuff. And you're not going to go ahead and provoke more wars. Under the Democrats, right, because Kamala's in right now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, people are so stupid. Like, okay, is the country good right now? No. Okay, who's running the country? Joe Biden, Kamala Harris? Okay. So if the country's not good right now and she's running it, why would you vote for her? Quavo? Fucking idiots. Stupid. She's in right now. What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
These promises she's making, why ain't she doing it right now?
She's the number 2 in the United States as we fucking speak. And then some other dummy. Well, Myron, you know that the vice president doesn't really do anything, bro. I think you're a smart guy, but this is bad and crass. Well, listen, dumbass. Last time I checked, Biden's not really fucking running the country.
He's not. He's definitely not on Twitter.
Not at all. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
He's not running shit.
Yeah.
And people are wondering, like, well, how could you say that? Well, he's not running again. Why is he not running again? He's fucking dying. He's dying.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
you know.
Some people think he's already dead.
Yeah. You know, like, you know, people could say whatever they want to say about Laura Loomer. I got to give her a shout out. She's been reporting on this. He's had like a couple of emergencies when he was on Air Force One.
Yeah.
So he's
out
literally
here in
dying.
Vegas.
Huh?
Out here in Vegas too, right? He had monkey.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
He had COVID again.
Yeah. So he was they shut the whole thing down and had to get him out of here quickly. Yeah, you're right. Good point. That was right around the time Trump got shot at.
Yeah.
So and we could talk about that too. But like, yeah, so the guy is fucking dying, man. Like, he's a very ambitious guy. He's been in the government since the fucking 70s when he was a senator at 29. He wanted to run again. He even went on after the bad debate, like, so you gotta get back up. You know, and he's like, I'm gonna run again. So the only reason I think that he would drop out like he did is that everyone pressured him, and we know that he doesn't have enough time, and he's dying. He's going to spend that time with his family. So, you know, and I agree with her on that. I think that's on point because it makes sense why he would drop out randomly, and then she comes in. So, like, I think the foreign policy is the most important thing because if we get into another war, you think food prices are bad now and inflation is bad now, it's going to get worse. And I remember when I vividly remember as a kid, when we were fighting in the Iraq War in 2003, like gas prices like $5-6 a gallon.
I remember that. Yeah.
So it's like, you know, war doesn't help. It only helps a small percentage of people. So I predict that there might be an Iranian response soon. I just hope it doesn't provoke. I just hope it doesn't hit them hard enough where it's like we end up with a war because we already got people stationed over there right now to help with Netanyahu's dumbass.
I hope not, because if they do that, my crypto was going to zero.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
They messing with my gains. They messing with my gains.
They're messing with everybody's gains, bro. Like it's just wild to me how people are like, you know, running around and saying, yeah, let's vote for Kamala, whatever. But it's like and the other thing too that's interesting to me is like all these like Democrats, right? All these lefties. They were complaining about the Biden administration. They were like, you know, when he lost that debate, they all flipped on him. You know, you got fucking dudes crying on CNN. I forget the dude's name, the black dude.
The black guy was
you know what I'm talking about?
Always
glasses?
crying. Come on.
Yeah, I used to work for Biden. He's such a good guy. Yeah. You know, this might be that.
What's his name? Bang Jones.
There we go. He was crying and shit. So that's when you knew it was over. So like even super far left people were like, yeah, this wasn't good, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. You know, donors started pulling money out, blah, blah, blah. Right. And then the other interesting thing is they're like, well, Kamala's even worse. Like, this isn't good. We need to bring somebody else new in. And then he opts out, and then she's the main candidate. Now they're all of a sudden, we're going to, what the fuck is going on here?
Is it true that they had no choice but to choose her to keep all the money they had raised?
I think probably because
That's what I was hearing. That's why they had to keep her for the money.
Oh, you know what? I think that, and then another reason, it will look really fucking bad to move her out the way.
Yeah, the black woman.
You losing the black vote.
Supposedly black woman.
Yeah. You know, that would have looked real. Because what I've noticed with Democrats also that they're really good about is they play race politics fucking fantastically.
Yeah. They do.
They're able to garner the black vote without trying, right? They're able to garner like the minorities, etc. We're going to fight for you.
Why didn't Trump choose a woman?
Tulsi Gabbard. That would have been perfect.
Gabbard
She left the Democrat Party. That would have been the best pick. How do you feel about TD
JD Vance?
Yeah, JD Vance. I said TD Vance.
Yeah.
JD Vance.
You think about TD Jakes.
So with JD Vance, I see why he did it. It was for the tech connect. Because obviously JD Vance is very cool with Peter Thiel and that whole Silicon Valley.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, he's very close with them. I mean, Peter Thiel is his guy. That's who got him in as a senator and off of Trump's endorsement and with Peter Thiel's like funding. So yeah, so like that so I saw why he did that, but I think a lot of people, a lot of Trump hardcore MAGA supporters don't like the pick because he was a never Trumper in 2016. He was like, I'm going to vote for Hillary. I'll never vote for Trump.
Right.
He's Hitler, blah, blah, blah. You know, but that was 2016. 8 years later, you can obviously change your mind. I mean,
He probably
he's obviously
said that
aged.
to get the money from Till.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
That's
all
probably
these
why he
Silicon,
said it,
all these Silicon Valley guys were Democrats before.
Right.
But I think
A lot of the eyes are getting opened up.
they switched their minds up, and I think Israel also has to deal with that too because they think that Trump is going to support Israel more than the left will, the Democrats will. The Democrats are going to support too, but they think at least Trump is going to give them the funding so they can get it done quicker, right? Because I mean, Muriel Madison's giving them $100 million.
Yeah.
So
how do you feel about that conflict in Israel? I always seen it as a genocide.
100% is a genocide. Like it's not even. And, you know, it's crazy because like on Twitter, right? You see the kids getting bombed, and the dead bodies, and the heads
I
blown
saw
off.
a dude on Instagram carrying his kid with no head.
Dude, it's wild, right? And you can literally see it, right? We've pretty much shown now, like, there's no 40 beheaded babies in ovens, whatever, on October 7th. It was all a lie. Bunch of propaganda used to invade, right? Did people die that day? Of course. It was a terrible day.
Right.
But, you know, no one wants to talk about the truth that actually the IDF killed a lot of the Israelis that day.
Right.
You know, and they're like, oh, well, what do you mean? Yeah, the Hannibal Directive is real. They reinstated it for that day. Yeah, it's been like, you know, dissolved,
It's
but
so
they still
crazy.
used it.
I did my research. The original people that was originally there, they actually welcomed in the European Jews as refugees.
Yeah.
Those refugees actually turned out to be invaders, and they just took all that land.
Yeah.
And now they're killing all these people, pushing them.
Yeah, most of them are
further south.
Ashkenazi, which, you know, basically European, so they don't even have like DNA ties to the land. So, you know, look, the only way around this is a two-state solution, right? Because let's be honest, the Israelis aren't going anywhere, and obviously that's the Palestinians' land. We need a two-state solution. The problem is this. Netanyahu doesn't want a two-state solution.
He doesn't.
He can go on Lex Friedman and lie all the fucking day, all day.
Trump said that he doesn't want it.
Yeah, he doesn't. And they caught him on video. He had like a secret meeting out in the West Bank or something like that. It was obviously in Hebrew, but they translated it. He was saying, yeah, I've sabotaged, you know, the peace agreements many times. I don't want a two-state solution because he knows with a two-state solution that would require the Palestinians to have their own government, which means they have their own weapons. They have the ability to actually rebel. He doesn't want any of that. He wants it to always stay under Israeli rule, but the only way you're truly going to get peace is you're going to have to give them land. You're going to have to give them complete sovereignty. That means they have their own military, they have their own airports,
he's in
etc.
control of those people.
That's crazy, man. He's bombing his own people.
Yeah.
After they was welcomed into that country as refugees.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Why do you
wild.
think we're all far right for the most part, right?
I like
Except
that.
for abortion, and that's pretty much it.
That's only, everything else we're far right on.
Yeah. So why do you think Republicans support Israel so much? Because in my feed, I follow a bunch of red people, right?
Yep.
And they mock these people that like free Palestine. They mock them.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Every day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody they mock these people like they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I don't think they know what's going on.
I think they know.
No, I think
They
they
can't be-
because I what opened my eyes. I was like, why does these stupid Palestinians keep saying free Palestine? What these stupid people talking about?
Yeah.
And I started doing research. I said, oh
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is crazy.
So why do Republicans support that?
You know, I've said this before.
They supposed to be pro-life.
They
They call
Let's go.
themselves pro-life.
That's facts.
And they're bombing. They have Israel bomb their own people after they was welcomed into that country as refugees.
Yeah. I think it's a combination of things, right? So, number one, the American media never shows what's going on in Gaza. I've noticed this. I
Right.
watch, you know, whether you look at Fox News or CNN, etc.
It's all lies.
They never show
Right.
any of the damage, any of the killed kids, nothing. And that's for obvious
Dude, I
reasons.
was looking at videos and like where the Palestinians live. It looked like it looked like something out of
I am Legend.
I Am Legend. It looked
Yeah.
like apocalyptic. And then you see where
It's
the
destroyed.
Jewish people are living and
Destroyed.
how we're sending them billions of dollars. These people got their own defense, their own government, all because of us. And they're like just pushing the original people, the original residents of this land, like to the sea.
We give them
into the
so
sea.
much aid.
Yeah.
They're number one, you know. And to answer your question about the GOP, yeah, dude, they're cucks for Israel. And the reason why, and I would argue that I'm ashamed to even say this, the right, like the GOP, they're even bigger cucks for Israel than the left.
yeah.
Obviously, I think they control
They're both cucks.
Yeah,
but
they both are.
The
But
GOP is
GOP is
just
way
fucking
worse.
Off.
Way worse.
Yeah.
I think, you know, because historically speaking, Republicans have been more pro-war. And more pro-war means more aid to Israel, because a lot of times when we fight these wars, where are we fighting? In the Middle East.
Right.
Who's our ally in the Middle East? Israel, allegedly. So I think that's why it's been that way. And then you look at who? Oh my God, who was the vice president that was like a board member on a? Was it Cheney, or was
Cheney,
it
yeah.
or
Could've been
McCain
Cheney.
or somebody? It was under the Bush administration.
Yeah, Cheney.
Right.
It was Cheney, right?
Yeah. Cheney.
Yeah, he had a senior position at like one of these military contract.
Yeah, the Bush
places.
family and Cheney, they benefited off that
Yeah,
Iraqi
so
war.
historically, like they've just been more pro-war, which is why I like Trump so much, because Trump is anti-war.
Right.
Trump's actually liberal.
Yeah, I would consider him more center right than like super far right, especially now. Like he's gotten way more moderate in his views, which I think is a big part of the reason why so many supporters are mad, because right now, like, he's not looking too good on the polls. He's kind of eased up on immigration. He's taking donations, which he used to make fun of people for doing that.
Right.
You know, and just he's just kind of softened up. And he's not like being the old Trump where he used to make fun of them and everything. Like Obama and them were taking shots at him at the DNC yesterday. Crazy.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Yeah,
They were
right.
taking crazy shots. I think he just needs to go back to like talking shit, making fun of them, using memes. You know, I'm get rid of Las Vida. Like the people that are running his campaign. Like, these are people that didn't believe the election was stolen in 2020. You know what I mean? Like, basically,
I've seen a lot of elections, and when I went to sleep that night, I was
was
like,
over.
"Yep, we got this."
It was just like
Yeah.
2016.
yeah, it was over. He was winning easily, and
well, he was the candidate that he was basically a candidate that was campaigning against the swamp, the establishment.
Right.
He wasn't a politician.
Right.
But what sucks is now in 2024, he's become the very politician that he campaigned against in 2016.
yeah,
That's what's happened. You know what I mean?
Look, everybody, inflation is out of control, and this problem's only going to get worse.
the value of silver, gold has been steadily rising, while the value of the American dollar has been falling.
PurpleBar.com is changing the game, making it easy for all of us to protect our financial futures. The bars are perforated so they can easily break apart and can be conveniently exchanged. Go to PurpleBar.com and use promo code Hodgetwins, and you get 5% off gold bars. And you get 10% off silver bars. Yeah.
And then just as far as like going back with the GOP, yeah, man, they're always been, you know, cucks for Israel. But like that's both sides. Like AIPAC runs this country.
Yeah,
right.
And I'm really glad like October 7th has really exposed the power and influence of Israel on American politics. I mean, think about it. This dude Netanyahu killed 10 to 20,000 children, but he's able to show up on Congress and get standing ovations 51 times.
From both sides.
From both sides.
Yeah.
Name me another leader that can do that.
Yeah, no.
Nobody. And then
Right.
what other foreign lobby do we have that gives the amount of money or like to our politicians?
Yeah.
Like Carrie Bush out of St. Louis. They got her out. Like they spent $8 to $13 million
It affected her a lot
to get
because
her
a lot
out.
of her.
Yeah, and
she
she's
had a
in
strong-
St. Louis.
and she's a
St. Louis. How do
Come
you get
on,
a black
man.
woman out of St. Louis?
bro.
Yeah.
And how many you know of them boys are down in St. Louis?
Yeah.
That just goes to show you like the tentacles of how strong AIPAC is. They got her the fuck up out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Massey, they've campaigned to try to get him out because he's the only one with guy with his head on straight over there. He tweeted the other day, and I retweeted it because I was like, I agree with this 100%. Like, no dual citizens in Congress. That should
Right.
be a fucking no-brainer.
I
Yeah.
know.
When I was an agent, right, I had a top secret clearance. If I had another, I wouldn't have been able to get that clearance
Yeah.
and work for HSI with another citizenship.
Right.
Why are people that are high levels of Congress or in the government in general having dual citizenships? That's completely unacceptable.
Yeah, majority.
Israel.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah,
They
a
have
lot-
dual
It's in our government.
citizenship for
Dual
Israel.
citizenship.
yeah, a lot of them do. And I think that's just not good because, look, you got to have allegiance to one country, especially when you're
Right.
holding national secrets. You got a clearance, etc.
Right.
Because we've seen what can happen when people have access to secrets and they have dual allegiance. Look at Jonathan Pollard. No one ever talks about him.
Right.
But he was an Israeli spy. He compromised the United States worse than most other spies, but he never hit the news like that. What happens? He gets out of jail. You know, he gets on a fucking plane. Sheldon Adelson gets on a plane, and then he's met at the tarmac with Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yeah.
This is a guy that sold our secrets to Russia.
right.
Fucking crazy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, when you look at all the things that Israel's been able to get away with, whether it's, you know, connections to 9/11, you know, that still aren't answered, which, by the way, I got to put some blame on Saudi Arabia as well. Everyone blames Israel, but it was the United States, deep state, Saudi Arabia, and Israel. It was three of them working in tandem. And then, you know, you talk about the JFK assassination. I did a 4-hour podcast talking about this in detail. There's Zionist fingerprints all over that too. RFK, right?
Right.
Zionist fingerprints all over that. Sirhan. When he shot him and he killed him allegedly, well,
Right.
Sirhan was in front of him. the shots that killed RFK were from behind him.
Right.
But back of the head and like in his shoulder. And then if you look at the bullet holes in the area where the shooting happened, like didn't match up with the gun that he had. There were more bullets than what was in his actual weapon that he shot.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make sense.
Well,
And then
RFK said CIA killed his dad.
yeah. I mean the CIA and then obviously Israel as well. Like there was they wanted both Kennedys gone. So with JFK, he wanted them to register in a FARA, right? The ZOA back at the time. This would say what APAC is today. He wanted them to register in the Foreign Agent Registration Act. Then he also wanted to do nuclear inspections because he had very good intelligence from spy cameras, satellites, that they were doing nuclear testing in Dimona, Israel, and the uranium that they got was from the United States. They stole it from a place out of Pennsylvania called Numek, right? They stole the fucking uranium, shipped it through South America, through Africa, destined for Palestine. And they were able to go ahead and make a nuclear bomb. To this day, Israel won't admit they have nuclear weapons, but everyone knows they have them. Right. That's why they're able to kind of do what they do in the Middle East.
Iraq can't have them, but Israel can, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
don't make sense.
They have these nukes, and they stole the uranium from us. And then they were doing a nuclear testing. And then Kennedy wrote to, at the time, the Prime Minister, Ben Gurion, he wrote to him several times, yo, we're going to do testing. We're going to do testing. We need you guys to comply. If you guys don't comply, foreign relations are going to be heavily impacted and aid is going to, be hurt. And next thing you know, a couple months later, bam, shot in the back of the head, killed. And then they're saying this dude Oswald did it. No, man.
No. That dude like an idiot. And then right before that happened, JFK came out and said he had a bombshell announcement he was going to make the next day. And the next day he was dead.
Yeah. And then his brother, right, he accepted the Warren Commission after he died. But he always kind of like was doing an independent investigation. Everyone knew that he was at one point gonna, if he was elected president, which is why when he was running, he would reopen that investigation into his brother, because everyone knew something was wrong. And then even RFK says, yeah, the CIA was involved. But I just like I don't know how he doesn't know that like there's Zionist fingerprints all over his uncle and his
maybe can't
father's. Because he's over here aligning himself with Shmuley, and I'm like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, you know. And here's the other thing too that's very telling, right? I had a CIA guy. You guys need to bring him on, Andrew Bustamante, right? CIA guy. And I asked him about this. I was like, dude, they still haven't declassified all the JFK documents. And he was like, well, for 50 years, everything should have been declassified at this point. Everyone that was involved mostly are dead. So to him, he was like, that means if they're still not declassifying it, that means that there's something of grave national security that if it was disclosed would be a problem. What I think is the Israeli links would be in that part that they haven't shown yet.
Right.
Because even Trump said, I saw the documents. If you saw what I saw, you wouldn't declassify it either. What does that mean? That's what Trump said. Like, because people are criticizing him like, yo, you promised you would declassify all the JFK documents.
Right.
He declassified a portion of it, but he didn't declassify everything yet.
Right.
And then when they asked him, hey, why don't we have everything? That's what he said.
Yeah.
Everyone's dead from that era.
Right.
What do you got to hide? I think it's the Israeli links.
Yeah.
Hey, they got rid of Nixon too, Watergate.
Yeah.
He did a speech. Did you see his speech? He was saying he didn't like how Israel had so much power of our politics.
Yes, he was a critic of Israel as well.
Yeah, he said that.
Yeah, I got rid
and
of
then Watergate happened.
And his image was tarnished. People don't know. Like, he was a very favored president. People loved him when he was in office.
Tricky dick.
Oh, and then the funny part too with Lyndon B. So JFK dies, then Lyndon B. Johnson comes in, suspends all the nuclear testing, doesn't give a shit about FARA, and then that's how if Lyndon B. Johnson didn't come in as president, we wouldn't have AIPAC like we do now.
That's crazy.
And then Lyndon B. Johnson, his people don't know this on his mother's side, they were part of the ADL.
Really?
Yeah. Jewish ancestry from his maternal side. No one talks about that though.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Zelensky, he's Jewish.
He is.
Yeah.
Every single time, man.
I was like,
Here we go.
here we go. Here we go. I think it's just a coincidence. Really.
Guess who else is a Jew?
It's crazy, bro.
It's just a coincidence.
Yo, it's always a coincidence. It's like,
What's
wait,
that
what the
guy that
hell?
was running the whole COVID thing with the shots and
What?
Fauci?
Fauci? Yeah, Fauci?
Yeah, he's a Jew.
Yep.
Is he? I didn't know that.
Who was the head of the CDC at the time? Rachel Walensky?
Is that a Jew?
Yeah.
That's
It
crazy.
gets better. Who's the head of Pfizer? Albert Bourla.
Jew, huh?
Yep.
Yep. No,
Yeah.
we're on the ball. We're on the ball here.
And then if you talked to anything about that was anti-vax on YouTube, who ran YouTube for a while?
Jew.
gonna have to cut that part out.
Hey, I heard they did some testing on IQs. There's a certain
demographic of Jewish people.
Jewish
that
people that's
IQs
got the highest IQs.
I think Ashkenazis is what
I
it
think that's
is.
what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's like debated in some circles and stuff like that. But I mean, I don't know.
Well, I know the Africans, they dead last. Ain't nobody debating that shit.
Yeah, probably.
What Negroes?
They
Probably.
dead last.
Probably.
So that's what. How do you? Okay, the Jews were oppressed in World War II. What happened to them was horrible.
Well, that's what they say. They say Richard Nixon was a criminal.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like the Jews was able to bounce back. Why do you think the black community hasn't been able to?
Yeah, it's true.
Be
you know,
as successful as the Jews.
yeah. So you guys are gonna hate me for this. Well, everybody hates me for this anyway, because I'm very critical of that community.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, I think it's because we just have a culture where we have a victim mindset. A lot of guys,
Yeah.
you know, very divisive, right? People will sit there and look at me and say, well, you're not black. You're from Sudan. Okay, cool, whatever. You know, like I get into arguments with these people. I'm like, look, here's the problems in the black community. We don't have fathers. We promote degenerate music that promotes drug trafficking, violence, gangs, you know, prioritizing buying, you know, expensive designer versus investing.
Right.
Like,
Yep.
you know, we use stupid ass ebonics and slang. Speaking proper English is considered like you're a coon or an Uncle
trying to be
Tom.
white.
You know, you're trying to be white or some shit like that. So we have a very backwards
I wonder who's in
society.
charge of the music of the black people.
We know. It's the Jews. Yeah, we know. Who is Diddy's fucking teacher? Clive Davis. Where's he from?
Yeah. Where?
He's a Jew too. Wow. Never fails, man. But yeah, so like going back with that whole situation is like you know, when I say this stuff, right? These are the problems in the black community. Instead of saying, damn, you know what, you're right, this is all factual, they say, you're Sudanese, you can't talk about this. And I'm like,
What?
well, yeah, they'll say I'm not black, or they'll say you're not a foundationally black American or some other stupid ass term like this because I'm first generation African American, whatever.
But Kamala's black.
Yeah, I consider her black, you know, because she's half Jamaican. I look at it like, bro, if you're Caribbean, you're from Africa,
Have you
whatever.
seen her dad?
You're dark skinned. No, I've never seen her dad.
dad is biracial. He's got some black in him,
Oh,
but he's
really?
bring up a picture of
Okay,
Kamala Harris.
I thought he was full Jamaican. Okay.
He's biracial.
Okay, but I consider Jamaicans black, me personally.
Yeah.
But again, like, you know, they say this, but let's say I was green. Let's say I was white.
Yeah.
Let's say I was purple. Let's say I was Jewish, right?
Yeah.
If I say something that's factually true,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter who says
It
it.
shouldn't matter.
But they're over here disqualifying what I say by
Because-
saying, well, you're not one of us, you can't speak on it. That's
Yeah.
such a backwards
But
fucking...
they say Kamala's black.
Yeah, but you know what's funny? If they really
That's her
thought
dad.
that, if it wasn't for white people, we would not be free in this country.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They had to come on black people's side.
That's her dad right there.
Well, that's
Oh, that's
He's
a nigga, man.
biracial. He's like us. Like I did my DNA. I'm 54% African.
That's a good. When he was at the unit, see, well, he looks like he's. I think he's got Indian. Fuck.
Indian in him?
in him, just like his daughter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to that black and white photo and scan in on him.
Man, I don't want to see that, man.
Yeah, he's a biracial man. He's not a dark skinned African.
Well, I
A
bring
lot of
that
people,
up.
he's biracial.
You got that nappy hair, though. You got that
yeah.
Brillo hair.
Yeah, he's biracial. He looks like me, and I'm 54%. But
Like
then
Kamala's
again,
from
I
black.
got 17% Irish. I don't consider myself Irish.
Yeah.
Kamala Harris is a biracial Indian woman who, you know, lives by Indian heritage. She
That's her
have
culture.
never been black until she
I
ran
don't
for
think she's
president.
genetically black, and I don't think she's culturally black.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I consider, if you're Jamaican, I consider you black. But like everyone has different terms. And that's the thing is like,
Yeah.
you know, but that's what they'll use, right? They'll use like this divisive, like, you ain't one of us, you can't comment. But I'm like, bro, even if the person doesn't align with your race, if the comments are legit, they're legit. But
They're
this is the
legit.
problem, though. Everyone is scared to criticize the black community for fear of being called a racist, a white supremacist, whatever it
Right.
may be. So they just say, you know what, man, fuck it. I'm not gonna say nothing, y'all. Just do what you want to fucking do.
Yeah.
But because no one wants to be called a racist. Everyone is fucking terrified,
Right.
Yeah.
right? So I got to do it.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's fucking ridiculous, man. It's backwards community, and you know, it's funny because if you look at like the black family back before, you know, nowadays, if you
yeah.
look at like during the Jim Crow era, when
it's
they were the
better
most
off.
oppressed, they did a lot better because the
Yeah.
father was in the household. Everything
Right.
starts with the dad.
And black people stuck together.
Yeah, they stuck
Black
together,
families,
and you had the nuclear family. The nuclear family is like literally the backbone of any thriving society.
Now, people are going to say from this video, they'll take, they said black people were better off because of Jim Crow.
We ain't saying that. You know how they got burned down?
Yeah. Of
We're
course they're
just
gonna say
saying
that.
during that era, during that time, black families were doing better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say this. I remember as a kid, teenage kid, I had white friends and black friends. At that age, I noticed the difference.
Yeah.
I did. I was like, you know what? I ain't hanging out with them this weekend. I'm going to go play with Scott. No, seriously, I noticed it at that age.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the culture is what destroys the black community.
Yeah.
Culture.
And we promote it.
Yeah.
Like I vividly remember, like, because everyone thinks like I came from like some rich background. No, man, I grew up in New Britain, Connecticut, which fucking sucks.
Oh,
Like,
we got a friend from that.
really?
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
Like that. He says it's rough.
Yeah, Central Connecticut sucks. That whole area around Hartford.
We had a show out there. White people said, why y'all having a show here? I almost didn't come.
Ain't nothing, man.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing out there, bro.
Yeah.
So, because like people think that there's a lot of money in Connecticut, which is true, but that's Southern Connecticut as you get closer to New York City. There's no money in Central Connecticut or Northern Connecticut. It sucks. So I grew up there. My high school had a 50% dropout rate. It was really degenerative, right? You know, girls getting pregnant all the time. It was a lot of minorities, right? A lot of Puerto Rican, big Puerto Rican population, blacks, etc. Very mixed. But the point is, I remember, like, if I got good grades or I spoke proper English or whatever, they'd make fun of you for it.
Right.
Like that's the type of bullshit that we push is like going to school, being educated, you know, speaking proper English. Like they look at it like, oh, you corny. That's whack. You know.
Well, they say,
Uncle
why
Tom.
you talk like that?
Yeah, Uncle Tom.
I was like, what?
And it's like, dude, like this is bullshit, man. So that's why we have the issues that we have is because like we don't promote the right shit. We don't promote fatherhood. We don't promote, you know, going out there and being an entrepreneur, investing money in fucking, you know, assets versus sneakers.
Yeah,
right.
And they actually killing people over Jordans.
Bro, crazy, man.
Did you get your DNA checked? I know people say we shouldn't have did it, but it was right when it first came out.
Yeah.
You know
ever
who owns 23andMe?
Jews.
Yeah.
I found out that too late. When he talking shit, them Jews gonna get us. They gonna frame my ass. They gonna plan it. They said this dude raped 50 women.
Oh man.
He raped 50 women and killed 20 black people.
Oh man. No, I never did, but my family's from Sudan. Like both of my parents. I think my mom has her grandfather is from Jordan. So if you were to do a DNA thing on me, like it'd just be probably North African and Arab. You know?
Yeah.
And then I have some roots in Egypt too, but I just identify as full Sudanese. But speaking of which, that whole thing with, you know, false allegations, they just arrested Andrew Tate too.
For what? For what?
Human trafficking and
Again? For
pimping
that?
and all this other bullshit.
He didn't
Yeah,
learn
bro.
his lesson the first time?
Bruh, it's crazy, man. You know what's funny? That this comes,
dude ain't human trafficking nobody.
bro.
Everybody's watching him. Let me keep on doing this human trafficking. Come on, man.
Yo, and it's like the timing is crazy. So Candace Owens,
What is he, human trapficking webcam hoes?
I guess so.
Webcam hoes?
I guess so. And the interesting part is like, you know, he does this fucking space with Candace Owens. There's 80,000 watching it live.
I didn't
Millions
know
of
they
people
did
that
that.
watched it. They did it a couple days ago, right? To talk about Zionism, right? Her, Dan Bilzerian.
Oh. They was talking about Zionism?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
And look what we doing.
Yeah. We were gonna catch a case after
I'm
this.
going to catch me a charge in a couple days.
We fucked up. But yeah, you know, they're fucking with Dan Bilzerian's Instagram now. Andrew and
That's
Tristan
not
get
a
arrested.
coincidence. That
You
is
know,
not a coincidence.
Candace Smooley files a report with the FBI against her. Dude, trying to get her canceled.
For criticizing.
Yes, bro. And she didn't even go full, you know, tinfoil like I'd be doing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, man, like she was, you know, she even brought people in that have an opposing view in the space. But dude, literally days after he's getting arrested.
Wow. That's
Fucking
crazy.
bullshit.
They're worse than the LGBTQ.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Using the same tactics.
Where's he
cancellation.
being held at?
I know they raided his house this morning, and then
Where does he live?
Romania, Bucharest.
Bucharest.
Yeah, they raided his house this morning, and then they took him over to the DICOT. That's like their version of the FBI. And I just saw a little while ago, like I was on a Twitter space right before coming here, is like they handcuffed him and they're going to spend 24 hours in jail. And then who knows, they might extend it longer than that.
Yeah, because they can hold him for a certain period of time.
Yeah,
before
that's
they can
fucked up
charge
in
him.
Romania. Like, yeah, they don't even really have to they can like put you in jail while they gather evidence against you.
Right.
Like, there's no probable cause or none of these standards.
They
It's
can
like
just arrest-
they can
Wow.
literally do. It's called
Yeah.
preventative detention.
That's what they
Wow.
arrested him for the last time, right?
Basically, same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they arrested him
Organized
again for-
crime, some crap about minors, all this other shit, and I'm just like, bro, like this is bullshit, man.
That is crazy.
It's so weird because, like, you know, I know the Tate brothers very well. I went over to Romania a few times,
Oh, did you?
and yeah, actually, they were gracious enough to let me like live with them for like a month.
No
And,
shit.
yeah, I
You
was
crazy
there.
as hell living with the Tates.
Yeah,
you going to jail.
yeah,
you going to
probably.
jail.
I probably will. But
Yeah.
like, you know, when people say this shit, right? I'm just kind of like, dude, I was there for a month, right? And keeping girls in the house, bro, they couldn't get them to leave. Like, we'd have a party or some shit or a social gathering.
Chicks all in the house, huh?
Bro, it was crazy girls. Like, we throw parties after and stuff like that. And, the girls would not want to leave. And, Tristan and Andrew were always nice, even when the girls would, like, be mad because they didn't get attention or whatever, being rude. They'd be like, no.
So the Tate bros, they just busting nuts 24/7.
The ladies like them, I'll say that, right?
The ladies.
Dudes in there busting nuts 24/7. Man, the Tate bros. Dude, wake up 6 a.m., bust nuts. 3 p.m., he bust some more nuts. Bust some nuts before he go to sleep. Probably wake up in a minute, hey, man, I'm going to bust me some more nuts.
They do well with the ladies, right? So, like, they'd tell the girls, hey, let me get you home. They'd get them a cab ride home. Even if they were being rude to them, whatever, they pay the cab driver and they get them home. And it's like, dude, holding women against their will, like, they couldn't get them to leave. Like, this is bullshit.
Right, yeah.
And, they're always very polite to them and everything. So, like, all this narrative of, they're human traffickers and they treat women like shit or whatever, like, these dudes are gentlemen, man. Like, it's just wild to me how they say this shit.
Harassing them because they have a lot of women.
It's bullshit. And I think their views as well,
Yeah.
and the other thing, too, I think why they're going after them so hard is, like, they're able to influence the youth. Right? So, like, in the UK, like, they had like a fucking whole front that they were trying to do, like, trying to get them banned off everywhere. Because you guys remember 2022, you couldn't open up your phone without seeing them. What color's your Bugatti? Don't be a brokey. Be an entrepreneur. Go to the gym. Be strong. Be masculine. You're the man. You're a leader. Don't let your woman fucking boss you around and shit. Well, it's one thing if you talk to guys like us, nobody cares, we're adults. But when you tell this shit to teenagers, then they're going to school and saying to their math teacher, you're a fucking brokey, I'm gonna go ahead and learn how to copyright. I don't need to go to college, it's a scam. Well, then that's when you start getting the PTAs involved, parents and teachers, oh, this is bullshit. Who's this Andrew Tate guy? Oh my God, my kid doesn't want to go to school or go to college anymore. What's going on? He's calling me a brokey. So once you start to affect the like young youth, the fighting age guys, that's when they're gonna come after you. And I think that was the biggest thing, is that he was influential to a certain crowd that they didn't want to be influenced.
Yeah, he's probably like one of the most, him and his brothers probably some of the most influential people in the world.
Yeah, and they banned him off everywhere systematically. He gets banned off YouTube, then Instagram, then Facebook, all within a couple of days.
Yeah, it was
like, it was like they,
and he's he's a person of color too. He can change a lot of people's minds if Negroes had ears.
He's what? He's mixed, right?
Yeah, he's black and
dad's
white.
black. I saw a video of his dad.
He look like my uncles.
Yeah.
Look like my dad.
I didn't know he had
half breeds.
Yeah. So yeah, man, like
he's loaded, right?
Yeah, he does well.
His house is.
Yeah, he does very well.
Women coming, they don't want to leave.
They don't want to leave, bro. I'm telling you, man. So like when I was there and they're saying all this shit about they hold women against their will or whatever, I'm like, this is a fucking lie, bro. And the other thing too, like I really want to bring to everyone's attention is, I knew the Tate brothers before they blew up, right? We had them on the podcast a bunch of times.
Oh, really?
But prior to them blowing up in 2022, like they were like A-list celebrities in Romania. Like they were very famous in Romania before that. So they've been getting girls for a while. Like girls flock to them because they're celebrities in Romania. They're like fucking rock stars over there. And this was before the 2022 blow up. So people need to know that like women have kind of been running at these guys for fucking years, dude. For like 10 years they've been running to these guys. Now in the West we know because we know who he is. So like they're coming up with all these things like, oh, these women like talked to him in 2015 and they were being trafficked or whatever. Shut the fuck up, because he was just as famous in Romania back then.
Right. Yeah.
You
know
know
that's
what I
why
mean?
the government is persecuting him, because he has a lot of influence over that country's politics.
Yes, and Romania, for those that don't know as well, is like a very, whenever we do things in Eastern Europe, etc., Romania is a very strong ally of the United States. So, you know, you can wiretap over there without a warrant, or like the warrant requirements aren't that high. If you're going to do a lure and you want to arrest somebody, you tell them to go to Romania and meet you, because we have a good extradition thing with them. So, you know, and we all know that the UK and the United States were behind, you know, pushing to get him arrested, especially the UK. They got a bad hard on for him. Like he's completely banned out of all the schools.
Yeah, UK is crazy.
UK is crazy. And then you see the riots going on. People are going to jail right now for
just
tweeting.
Protesting. Yeah.
Tweets. Yeah, I saw that.
Well, who's the prime minister of the UK?
Don't say it.
Every single time.
Hey y'all, 3 red flags that show you might have poop stuck in your colon. Random stomach pains and abdominal cramps like you on your period or something.
Oh man, think I'm on my period.
Uncontrollable leakage and episodes of diarrhea.
Oh man, that's horrible.
You got that mud butt.
Oh God.
You straining and struggling and pushing when you're on the toilet. You gonna get hemorrhoids like that. Trust me, I know. If you're going through any of this, we got the solution for you.
Optimal Human, all in one, nutritional drink has over 90 ingredients. And it can help you with all kinds of issues.
All kinds.
Especially if your gut and your digestive system is out of whack.
Yeah, make your ass great again.
Yeah.
Y'all need to go to optimalhuman.com/Hodgetwins, and now they letting you try it for free.
Free.
For free. You just gotta pay for shipping.
Yeah.
Try Optimal Human for free today. Yeah.
You know what's crazy? Look what they're doing to the Tate brothers. Look, Epstein.
Yep.
They're treating them like they Epstein brothers.
Yeah.
Yep. We still don't know who's in that black book.
Yeah.
I hope they don't open that black book.
What?
And then he dies right before.
Yeah.
Ghislaine Maxwell's in jail still, but, you know, she's not going to know everything, you know.
She's just a fall guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone wants, and here's the other thing, too. Like, with Epstein, right? Like, he should have gotten prosecuted a long time ago. But at the time, the United States attorney for the Southern District of Florida, I think his name is Alex Acosta, if I'm not mistaken, he didn't prosecute because he said, hey, people came up to me above my chain of command and told me he's intelligence, don't touch him. So we all know that Epstein was Mossad.
Right.
Or one of these Israeli intelligence agencies.
Right.
You know, it's the
Yeah, he's a Jew.
He is.
Epstein was a Jew.
Hardcore Zionist. You know, what was his job? Come in, you know, bring him, because he was
Yeah, that's right.
really cool with was it the Wexner Foundation? I forget who he
That
has.
was Bill Clinton.
Yeah, Bill Clinton
Had a
too.
picture.
But no one knows how he made his money. He was a financier, former math teacher, comes into all these billions because he was managing money. I think it was a Wexner Fund. If someone could fact check me on that real quick, I think it was Wexner or Lexner or something like that.
Yeah, he's
Foundational.
They call him a financier.
Yeah, some bullshit like that. But the point is this: he had access to Victoria's Secret models because that foundation I talked about owned Victoria's Secret. So what he would do is he'd bring these hot models to these parties, and everyone knew him as the girl guy. Oh, this is the guy that brings the girls. Awesome. So at first, was it? Yes, Lex Wessner. Yep, boom. That was like his, Epstein was like his right-hand guy. So he like managed his money and stuff like that. And if I'm not mistaken, he owns businesses that own Victoria's Secret.
Is he Jewish? Shouldn't ask.
Every single time. So he brings the Victoria's Secret models, right, to these fucking parties. Right? They're of age at that point. But then they start getting younger and younger. And then next thing you know, dudes are hooking up with 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds, whatever it may be. And that's how he would compromise them. And then I actually did on my other channel, Fed Reacts, where I cover cases and stuff. And he basically had like a whole bunch of teenage girls that would come in and massage people, right? Because he would recruit them, have them do it to him first. Then he'd bring them around these rich people, fly them around. He had a house in New Mexico, obviously the big one in New York City.
That's how the trafficking came in.
Yeah, so that because he was able to affect interstate commerce. So, and that's how they got R. Kelly and Diddy too. That's how they're gonna get Diddy as well. They're gonna do the same thing with R. Kelly that they did with Diddy. I predict any time now they're gonna indict him. But and it was actually my HSI office out of Miami that got him.
Really? Really?
Yeah, bro. When I was watching the footage, they were raiding his house. I recognized 2 to 3 of the guys on the floor, bro. I was like, holy shit. I was like, what the fuck? Is that fucking Tony? Holy shit.
That's fucking Tony.
Bro.
Damn, Tony in Diddy's house.
It was him. I was like fucking shocked. But going back to that thing, yeah. So like he brings these girls in, you know, compromise and control. Hey, you hooked up with a 15-year-old, then it's on camera. What are they gonna do?
Right.
You know, that's how they got Prince. Was it Prince Harry, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah.
How they got him jammed up.
Right.
So that's you blackmail these guys, and now you got them under the control. I think you have Bill Gates blackmailed because what he would do is what Epstein was after was he was after intelligence, like technology. So what he would do is he would donate a bunch of money to MIT, and then he would oversee all the projects that they were doing for technology. And then he would tell Bill Gates, hey, you need to donate under my name as well. And Bill Gates, obviously being compromised, because he was a cheater. People don't know this. Like, he ran away with his secretary, you know, all this
like
cheating on his wife.
Pussy, right?
Oh, yeah, he was smashing chicks, though. Bill Gates, right? So,
Yeah,
he was smashing chicks.
Trying to be like the Tate brothers.
Yeah, trying to be.
Yeah.
And then he would force Bill Gates to donate on his behalf, and then he would get access to all that technology come from MIT. Where does it go? Boom, Mossad.
I bet you the real story on him, we don't even know.
Yeah.
Israel's been caught so many times stealing our technology. All the fucking time they steal our technology. Because they need it, man. They need it. Like, they're surrounded by enemies, and they, bruh, if it wasn't for us, they'd be gone in 24 hours, man.
I see it like this. They're not surrounded by enemies. I think they the enemy. That's where I see it. Because they were refugees, and they just, the way they treating those people.
It's kind of crazy. They should have went to Norway or Sweden or something.
Another thing, too, right, there's this memo, right? It's called the Clean Break Memo. where it kind of outlined like a strategy for Israel. And in the memo, it outlines all the adversarial countries of Israel: Iran, Iraq, Syria,
Surrounded.
you know, etc. And if you look, we've pretty much either destabilized or destroyed a bunch of these countries. The last country left on it is Iran. And who's they're trying to go to war with right now? Iran, that clean break memo. And who was written by? You know, Wolfowitz, Pearl, Bill Kristol, all neocons. And you don't even got to ask, where are they from? We know. So
The J people.
yeah, exactly, man. So, dude, we're fighting worse for these guys. And then also another thing too, if you look at like every terrorist that attacked the United States, Osama bin Laden, the Zolkar brothers on the Boston Marathon bombing, etc. These guys typically write manifestos as to like why they attacked the United States, and they never show the American public this. But like the reason why is because of our foreign policy in the Middle East.
Right.
They wouldn't give a shit about us and attack us if we didn't support Israel so much. It's like Osama bin Laden wrote a letter to America. The first few paragraphs, what does he complain about? Israel. You know? So it's like, dude, the Middle East doesn't hate us because we're free like they try to tell us. They hate us because we fucking support Israel.
They give
I mean, look how we treat our own president. You can only imagine what they're doing to the Arabs and Muslims in other countries. Right.
Yeah. So I'm like real strong on
I
like,
used to be scared of Muslims.
yeah,
I used to, because that's what I saw on TV.
Yeah.
Oh, they're a bunch of terrorists. They're a bunch of radicals.
yeah. And there
It's
there
the
are
other way
some.
around. Yeah,
There are some for
but
sure.
there's radical Christians out there.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, and when I was on the job, obviously, you know, we dealt with some terrorists and we put them away. But like, you know, the issue is, you know, we need to focus on America. We focus way too much on being the world's police. Joe Biden talked about it in his fucking speech. We're the lead country. We got to be the ones to police America. And I'm like, no, we don't. Fuck that shit,
Right.
man. Like, we need to focus on America only. Like, America first, America only. Like, we focus way too much on helping other countries out, giving all this money. But, like, you know, we got Americans that can barely buy fucking bread. What the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they want to do that because we send all this money to other countries. It comes back to them
Yeah.
one way or another.
I
That's how
agree.
they become millionaires.
Right.
Yeah. You know, you come in as a congressman making 100
Yeah.
to 30K per year. Then you leave and you're a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
None of it does.
Doesn't make sense. You look at like someone like, who was the female that recently died? I was trying to remember.
Female. Oh, Feinstein? That old,
I think so.
Yeah.
Like
California.
yeah,
She was like
think
150 years old when she died.
she had a bunch of money. Like everybody knew she was fucking insider trading.
Right.
You know? These
Yeah.
people are all insider trading.
Well, how much is Pelosi worth? It's crazy.
She's worth a bunch.
Hey, look it up. How much is Nancy Pelosi?
She's worth
I think
a
she's
bunch.
worth $100 million.
That's wild.
You know what's scary? Like at one point, she was like the third in charge in the country, Speaker of the House.
I
Yeah.
know.
The vice president dies. Like that's the next person to come in.
Yeah.
Right.
Could you imagine?
That is nuts. I think she's worse than Biden.
I think she's yeah.
Yeah. That crazy dude attacked her husband.
Yeah,
That
was
was
crazy.
something behind that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
The real
Because you
story
let the
doesn't
man
come out.
in your house and y'all like
He
it's
like
they
went
know
after him
each
with a fucking hammer.
So you open the door and he's holding the hammer.
other. There she is, $120 million,
Bro.
On
And
a
she's
sal-
still working.
and her salary
Why
is
you still working?
$223,000.
She's on her. She's got one foot in the grave, worth $120 million, and she's still working.
Yeah, bro. Everybody knows she's insider trading. You know, because you're on the cutting edge of everything. You know everything that's going to happen.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
because a lot of things affect stock market is politics.
absolutely.
I know they've been wrecking my crypto, man.
I think the thing to invest in right now is the military contractors, Lockheed Martin and all these guys, man. Because
Yeah.
I think, especially if we get Kamala in, it's very obvious that the Democrats can't control our allies,
Right.
and we end up in fucking wars, and we just keep contributing to it. It's just wild to me, man.
Right.
And then Biden has vested interest in Ukraine.
Yeah,
You know, that's I think another reason why we give them so much goddamn money.
What's that? Some report just came out that his family, Biden family, got like $23 million
Oh yeah.
this past year from.
Well, that's what
from
Hunter
entities.
Biden, like, you know, they got him on this gun charge, but Hunter Biden was out here politicking with Chinese and Ukrainians, being on the
Yeah.
board,
Right.
being an advisor,
Yeah.
all this other shit, talking about I'm going to kick the money up to the big guy.
Yeah.
Like, they have all kinds of self-interest
Yeah.
in Ukraine, you know, financially. They made a bunch of
he
money.
had to fall on something.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
No, something.
Yeah,
Yeah, the gun is what they got
Yeah.
him on.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, as far as, what do you guys think is going to happen with the election? What do you think is going to... Because right now, man, Trump's not looking too good right now.
Well,
That's
you
what
look
a
at
lot
the
of
polls.
Republicans don't realize.
You look at the polls.
It's going to be close.
It's a toss up, but I find it hard to believe somebody who's so disliked can win an election from the Democrat Party, because remember when she ran for president, she was like one of the first ones to drop out.
Nobody liked her.
Yeah,
now all of
nobody.
a sudden she supposedly got all this support.
As vice president, everybody's like, she's horrible. They was thinking about removing her from the ticket before Joe Biden.
Right.
I think it's two things going on here. Number one, the Democrats were thirsty for a candidate that wasn't Joe Biden. So I think that's like, okay, she's better than him. We're excited. Right. And then I also think the discontent or like the dislike of Trump is also giving her votes.
Right.
Because so many people
Right.
hate Trump, man. So many people. It's actually crazy.
Yeah, Republicans don't even realize that. Like our followers, they don't realize how much.
Oh, dude, people hate. I was in the airport, right? And I was like in a Twitter space talking about like what I think Trump needs to do to like take this thing over, which I'll talk about here in a second. And like people were looking at me like I'm crazy, like because I was like saying I'm pro Trump and shit, and they're like, oh, whatever. And it just makes me. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in normie world. Like normal Americans like still think he's a racist. They still think he's an asshole
because they don't keep tabs on.
They don't keep tabs on. Yeah, and here's another thing too that I really dislike about American politics and why people are so fucking low IQ. Like they'll dislike the candidate because of how he speaks or how he sounds or what he's done in the past or whatever it may be. I don't like his personality. Who cares, you idiot? Who has better policy? It's Trump by far.
Right.
Trump by far. But they people vote on emotions, right? Another reason why I think women shouldn't vote. They vote on emotions. You know, like when they ask women, like, who are you voting for? I'm going to vote for Kamala. Okay, why don't you like Trump? They can't even articulate to you why they don't like Trump. They can't even articulate. So, but what I think Trump needs to do to win this
should have
thing,
had Tulsi Gabbard as his VP.
I would have liked, even though Vivek is kind
I
of,
would say Vivek.
kind of,
He's too dark.
he could be snaky, but
He's too dark.
yeah, he's too dark.
I'm serious, dude. His
I-
poll numbers, nobody liked him.
He's like the absolute best politician on the right, I feel.
Yes, he is.
Right?
He is.
He can also, he
is.
has a strong
He's an
message.
Indian Obama. He's an Indian Obama.
Yeah.
And he's Republican. He says all the right things.
Yep.
I don't understand why he didn't go with him or Tulsi
Because
Gabbard.
what he said,
Yeah.
they reminded him that he reminds them of Obama.
People, so many people, I said, man, what do you think about Vivek? Man, I don't trust that guy. He reminds me of Obama.
Yeah.
I said, come on.
Yeah.
I
Not
don't
all
think he
black
has. I
people-
don't think he really has a future as.
I don't see him becoming.
I think
He has to go liberal.
they're gonna try to push him. They're gonna try to push him as a senator. Probably that's what's gonna end up happening. Take JD Vance's spot. I think is the move for him. But I would have liked him as a vice president. Ben Carson as well would have been good.
Yeah.
That would have helped him. Well, it would have helped him with getting the black vote a little bit. Maybe for like the higher IQ black people.
Right.
You know, but like let's be honest here. There's just black people are just going to always say, no, I'm always going to vote Democrat because they just have this concept that Trump is like a racist or Republicans in general. The GOP is historically racist, but like they're stupid. Lower
you
IQ.
can't even, they're so ignorant. You can just literally go on Google, you go on YouTube, TikTok, Trump denounces white supremacy, and there's like at least 6 videos of that, of him saying that repeatedly, over and over and over. But mainstream media see running saying he's a white supremacist.
Yeah, I think Pennsylvania is going to decide the election.
Pennsylvania,
That's what I think it is.
You know, my take on this is, I think, look, people want to be white supremacists. I think they should be able to be white supremacists. This is why. We have black people that run around and say black power,
Right.
right? Keep it black, marry black women, keep it in the house.
Yeah,
I'm all for
Black-owned
that.
business.
Yeah, black-owned businesses, whatever. They're nationalists for their race. Cool, right? They support black people. I'm totally for that. If you're gonna go ahead and say we should be able to say black power and you know white lives matter and also Black Lives Matter, all this other stuff.
yeah.
White people should also be able to go ahead and be proud of what their race
That's equality,
and do
right?
what they want. That's the equality that you guys fought for.
Yeah.
So you can't get mad and say, "Oh, he's a white supremacist," and use that as like some negative thing. When in reality, I would sort of say there's way more black supremacists out there.
Right.
And
Right?
black people are so racist.
Hey, let me ask you this question. It's a real touchy question. What? Ask you this question. Like a majority of this country is white,
Yeah.
right? What do you think would happen if the roles were reversed? Say the majority of this country
70%.
was black.
We'd be fucked. Let's keep it 1,000. We'd be, bro. We'd be
Right.
fucked, man.
It's because the way we think. It
It's-
has
yeah.
nothing to do with your skin color. It's based on our culture.
Yeah.
It's just wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they have this whole concept of handouts and communitarianism and like no, man, fuck that, man. The Democratic Party, like, they're a lot of the time they're damn near socialist, man, communists.
Right.
You know, they don't believe in capitalism. They want handouts and all this other bullshit. It's like I look at it like this: this is the best country in the world. You can get ahead if you work really hard. There's immigrants that come here that figure out a way to become rich and successful. Don't even know the language, don't know the culture, etc. They're fighting to get a green card. Like. So when I see these, these FBAs or these people that sit there and say, well, I'm oppressed because I'm black and I can't do this, I'm like, shut the fuck up, you pussy.
Yeah.
Because I remember vividly when I was an agent, I'd see dead kids in the fucking desert, right? Trying to come to the United States, getting eaten by coyotes or dying of heat starvation when they're trying to get smuggled in trucks. Right? And you see these people dying, starving, being raped, extorted by these Mexican cartels, et cetera, trying to come in here. And you have people sitting here in the United States squandering it, crying about, I'm being oppressed by the man or police brutality or whatever. Shut the fuck up,
Yeah, they don't know what real suffering is.
You don't know what real suffering or real poverty is, bro. Like, give me Section 8 and government cheese any day over being in fucking Africa or coming from some of these war-torn countries people are coming from. Like, we literally, the poorest people here still have a better existence than 99% of people out there in the world. So, like, we're super fucking spoiled here in the United States. That's why, and this doesn't just go for black people. I'm talking about all races. The Hispanics that cry, the blacks that cry, the whites that cry. Like, you have no excuse to be fucking broke
I can't
or
believe
poor.
about white people crying.
No one cares about them. Even when they cry, like, everyone's like, shut up.
Like, you should know better. You in the best country in the world. Black people have been brainwashed. I have a,
we indoctrinate a victim mindset in the United States. We like, because like they'll sit there and they'll complain. Like, I see on these Twitter spaces, they sit there and moan about white supremacy and police brutality and all this other bullshit. But the reality is the majority of people that are killed by police are actually white. Double. Right? And there's way more unarmed white guys that get shot by black guys. That get shot than the black guys.
Right.
Way more. So it's like, dude, we got to face the real problem. A disproportionate amount of violent crime in the United States is committed by black people.
Right.
Face the fucking problems and let's deal with it head on instead of saying that the police are racist pigs.
We did a video on this TikTok lady. She said, y'all like stats, right, Republicans? Y'all like stats. She went to this one stat. She was cherry picking.
Of course.
She didn't read all the data. Or she did misinterpret the data. She thinks she's a statistician. She said, look, right there, 65% of all crimes committed by white people. I was like, no shit. Ask me who the majority of people that commit crimes in China. It's going to be Chinese people. It's because they are the majority of the population, right? So we did a video, and then I said, you need to look at these statistics. Majority of the violent crimes in this country is done by, like, what, 10% of the population?
13%. And then if you go for the men, which is even less, it's really like 5 or 6%. Committing a majority of the crimes. So, and then they want to sit there and argue with me, well, the criminal justice system is racist. Like, if you sell crack, you get double the time they're selling cocaine.
You should.
How about this? How about you just don't sell fucking drugs?
Or switch to cocaine.
Like, what get some money, brokey. Get a better connect from Mexico, stupid.
Right.
But it's like, it's crazy to me because it's like, you're arguing over here for fucking criminals. You know what I mean? It's fucking wild. So it's just crazy to me that they want to sit there. We have a very strong victim mindset in the black community. And it's like, dude, like, at some point you got to stop the fucking bitching, man. Because I think affirmative action, DEI hiring, we run into problems. Let's go, like, look at the Secret Service agent that couldn't even holster her gun after the fucking assassination attempt.
Nuts.
Wild.
I'm not having no woman protect me.
Hell no. Unacceptable.
Only reason why I have a woman protecting me is because we're going to do something after the show.
There you go.
She's undercover.
Quite literally.
She helped me bust some nuts.
Quite
do
literally.
Like Bill Clinton, have her as an intern. Suck me off when I get off this phone
Her gun is not even going to have real bullets in it.
You know, I always thought about that's incredible to me, like the power, like how powerful men really are.
Yeah.
Monica Lewinsky is a household name because she sucked the dick of a guy that was that famous.
Right.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Like, you can become famous off of sucking a dick. That goes to show, like, how useless women are. God damn. Bro, like, that's crazy, isn't it? To this day, this is shit happened in the fucking 90s.
She writes books.
She writing books about this shit, man.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild. And then that dumbass crazy bitch.
Yeah.
The E. Carroll woman that said that Trump raped me
yeah.
in what's some
In a
fitting room?
fitting room.
Like,
In
whatever.
an apartment store.
In daylight.
Bro, that's such bullshit.
30 years ago.
And because, I hate this shit because I get in fights with Democrats all the time on Twitter about this. Trump's a rapist. Whenever they say that shit, I have it saved on my fucking phone. I have the sheet, of the civil case where it says, did he rape? It says no. Because he's not a rapist, technically.
Right.
They said, but they found them liable, right, or culpable for like sexual assault or whatever. Number one, it's a civil case. You only need 51% versus, the preponderance of the evidence. It's a fucking low standard. And then this E. Carroll woman's crazy. She goes on CNN.
She's nuts.
They took her word over his.
Yeah,
Dude,
but she's nuts.
She tells Anderson Cooper,
Yeah.
well, rape doesn't have to be physical. Bro, even he was like, oh, man.
Yeah,
Yo,
they cut the interview.
Yeah, they cut the interview.
They cut the interview. She was saying something else crazy, how it's sexy.
Yeah.
Something, it's so sexy.
That lady was a loon.
Bro, like, and it's like, and it's crazy to me because it's like this woman, because this is how she did her thing, right? First, she talked about the assault and she put it like in a newspaper somewhere.
Right.
It got like a lot of views, or in a magazine. She put it somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? And it got a lot of like hits.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So she's like, oh shit, I'm going to make a book. So she writes a book about this shit and does a book tour. Bro, if you really got raped, are you going to sit there, detail it in a fucking book?
Right.
Damn, okay, let me do a tour and relive my trauma.
Yeah, victims don't like to relive.
Yeah.
Bullshit,
trauma.
bro. Bullshit.
They don't even like to
Bullshit.
testify. She's writing books, going on a book tour.
Dude. And then she goes ahead and says the fucking nerve to say rape doesn't have to be physical. Bitch, do you look at the New York Penal Code? It literally says you need to, it needs to be physical.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
And then she even sued Trump for saying that he didn't rape her.
for defamation, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's how she got her money, right?
Man, look at those 34 felony counts. Did you see the rules he made? Trump
Glad you
said
mentioned
Mother
that.
Teresa couldn't beat these charges.
Bro, another thing too, Alex Jones put this out not too long ago. Rikers apparently is like setting up for Trump to go to jail. Did y'all hear about that?
No.
They're like moving shit around. Apparently, that they're preparing for him to go to jail because the judge, that piece of shit Merchan, who should have been recused him fucking self because his daughter worked for Kamala Harris, which is an extreme conflict of interest.
Right.
He's gonna send him to jail for like a year. They're trying to give him a year in jail.
And they, when they found him guilty of those 34 charges, he gave instructions to the jury. You don't have to agree on what charge he's guilty of.
Yeah, if it's a felony or not or something.
Yeah. They didn't have to come to a conclusion what crime he broke.
Yeah, he committed, yeah.
And the other thing too about that charge, that falsifying business records charge, because I did some digging onto that. It's typically charged as a misdemeanor. It's almost never charged as a felony.
Right. Yeah.
But in this instance,
And it will be the
charged as a
IRS
felony.
doing the charges, right?
What was that?
Because it's more like an accounting error, right?
Dude, it's a state case.
Yeah.
Like they hit him with like a state
made it
case.
federal.
And no, they never hit him with it federally. What you're thinking?
Oh,
of,
they was- it
you know what they
should've
did
been
federally?
made,
They made the Georgia case federal. So like you guys remember they said that
Asking for
they
votes.
for votes or whatever. And then Fannie Willis's loser ass, she's corrupt too. She did that whole RICO against Giuliani and all them or whatever.
Right, yeah.
That was kind of a piggyback on the Washington D.C. case on Trump, where citing an insurrection. Like a lot of the basis of their stupid ass RICO comes from the Washington D.C. indictment.
That's crazy.
So if he's in jail, or
Jack Smith.
we could still have the election, right?
Yeah. So interestingly enough, and I think it's actually going to help him if they send him to jail.
Right.
And
I think so too.
Because in my head I'm like, wait, hold on. How are you guys going to put this man in jail? Like Secret Service, like how are they going to protect him?
Right. Yeah.
Like y'all are going to have to give him like a whole wing of the jail.
Right.
And you're going to still have to keep Secret Service with him. Like I don't understand how this would work.
Charges for supposedly paying off.
Yeah, but he's like trying to exhaust his appeals, but they're saying he's going to get sentenced in September, and
The election's in November.
and it's in November, and they're going to put him in. So I'm like, holy shit, man. So
They actually think that's going to hurt him.
I think it'll help him.
Yeah, I think.
You know
it's
what's
gonna help
beautiful? When's the debate? September 5th? That's actually going back to what I was going to say. I think for Trump to turn this thing around, right? Because Kamala's done a fantastic job of avoiding the media, not giving real policy, not really standing on anything. She's been taking what
Just a bunch of
the
promises.
Republicans say and saying, "Oh, JD Vance, I'm going to give him $4,000 credit. I'm going to give him $5,000 credit." She like ups it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Or was it 5,000, 6,000? Either way, she like is trying to take their policies. She used to say, "We're not fracking." Now she's saying we are going to, drill.
Right. Yep.
All this bullshit. I think for him, since Kamala's playing the game correctly, because they're, people know her weaknesses. She can't do an interview. She's a stupid speaker. She's a moron. I think what Trump needs to do is he needs to whoop her ass in the fucking debate.
Yeah, which
That's gonna switch the thing because she's not good on her feet like that, and she
She's
can't
a
do
horrible
interviews.
debater.
Oh yeah, and she's a lawyer too, which makes it even funnier to me.
How did she even become a lawyer? You're supposed to be good at logic.
Yeah, you should be. Yeah, you should be able to argue.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what's gonna happen is if he wins that debate, I think that'll shift everything over. So that's what he needs to do is like really like shit on her in debate, challenge her policies, and et cetera. And because that's what turned it over for Joe Biden. Because the Democrats are on a high right now, and she hasn't done any interviews, and I don't think she's gonna. The only thing that sucks is that it's gonna be on ABC, which is we know that's Democrat territory.
Right.
But the beauty is we got social media, we got Twitter.
Yeah.
We got Rumble. We got these other alternative media. So it used to be where the mainstream media controlled everything.
Right.
Now with alternative media, social media, you can't put this bullshit. If she loses the debate, the Democrats aren't gonna be able to spin it.
huge.
They're not gonna be able to spin it and be like, oh no, she won. No, Twitter's huge. Yeah, Twitter's huge. And Twitter leans a little bit more right.
Right.
So so yeah, man. And then if you look at all the biggest creators too, a lot of them are conservative, man, and they're on Rumble too.
Right.
You guys, us, Crowder, etc. I would consider, Kirk, Turning Point America, whatever. I think the only things that we disagree with them on is the Israel thing, but Other
he
than
gets
that.
a lot of money from them too.
Yeah. Turning Point gets money from.
Oh yeah.
Hey, did
All
you
of them.
did you hear about Charlie Kirk's? He don't agree with the civil rights bill that came out in 19.
Well, it's taken out of context.
Yeah, but he's still against the civil rights bill.
No. It was taken out of context. What he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah.
Hey, pull it up.
Man.
It's so.
Hey, Kev, you gotta go through like 50 minutes of video. It was taken
No,
out-
it's a short. It's a short. He's against the civil rights bill.
No, he's not.
He don't like Martin Luther King either.
Well, I know he don't like Martin. Well, it's not that he.
We
doesn't
fucked a
like-
bunch of bitches.
Huh?
Yeah,
He's
doesn't
a
like-
real nigga, man.
Yeah.
Fucked a bunch of
He-
bitches.
it's not that he didn't like Martin Luther King. He's just trying to tarnish him that he's not perfect.
Yeah, but why would you even make that argument about?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to like, the conservative creators, I agree with them on mostly everything. The only thing I dislike is a lot of them like are super pro-Israel, and I don't think Israel's our ally.
Yeah.
But like a lot of the up and coming and newer conservative creators, like the younger guys, we're all aware of. I mean, you guys too, which is great.
Yeah.
Like we're all aware of like the bullshit with Israel. But like but the thing is, that's what I'm trying to say. Like the GOP is cucked by Israel. Like they've been supporting them for so fucking long that like they can't. If they say anything now, it's gonna look crazy. But it's hurt them. I mean, look at the Daily Wire right now. Like they've lost a lot of support because of firing Candace for her criticisms of Israel. Like they should have just kept her on and let her say what she wants to say. But
I mean, that's why they brought her on. We believe in free speech.
yeah, and like it's really bad if you're a conservative creator and we already get censored enough. Like when Elon took over Twitter, like conservative creators are being stifled way more than
Right.
than
My
left wing.
Twitter took off when he bought Twitter.
Yeah. Same for me, man. Because there's free speech on there. So
Right.
shout out to Elon for that. But like, yeah, dude, like even on YouTube, like you look at conservative creators versus left wing guys. All the big ones are like censored. Like they censored Crowder. Bongino got kicked off. We're demonetized.
Yeah.
I think that's why they kicked him off of Fox too.
Bongino.
He's
off
not on
of-
Fox anymore?
He's not on Fox.
Really? I haven't
Not
seen
on
him in a while.
They kicked off Tucker too.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. So like, there's no doubt about it.
Who
Like
you think was
conservative creators
behind
are way more banned, man.
Hey,
It's
so what's your
wild.
prediction for the election?
I think Trump needs to win the debate, and we can take this thing home. But
If it happened right now, you think he would lose?
if we did it today, like right this minute, there's a high chance he would lose
Yeah.
because he's lost a lot of his hardcore supporters, man.
Yes.
Because he's went like moderate, right? Like he's kind of like he's not as stiff as he used to be, which is why people loved him. So if we had it now, he might lose. I mean, I'm going to vote for him anyway, no matter what.
Yeah.
Right.
We can't
Right.
bring Kamala in. Fuck that.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
want no female president anyway. So there's a bunch. Yeah, like
Right.
I don't even think they should vote, let alone be led by one. Fuck that. So and besides, her policies suck too. Let's
Her
be honest.
policies are horrible.
Her policies are fucking
No,
trash.
but that gas that's the way you
But the
draw
cherry
a
on
line.
top is
Yeah.
like female. No, fuck no. Like that's the cherry on top. But like her policies are trash, so she can't even really articulate them, and it's a
Yeah.
bunch of lies. It's what the Democrats always do: smoke and fucking mirrors,
bunch
man.
of promises. and
Bunch of
lies.
promises,
Yeah.
bringing in celebrities,
Yeah.
doing cool rallies, bringing Little John and Beyonce
Right.
and shit like that. That's what they've always done. I remember when Obama was campaigning, same shit. Brought in Jay-Z, Beyonce, awesome
He
speeches,
gave
great
out cell
talker.
phones too, didn't he? Obama phones, remember that?
Yeah, they campaign on handouts. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Like that's what they do.
It's so crazy. They actually have at Kamala's rallies. They actually have buses, vans, just doing abortions on site.
Oh yeah, they were doing that
Ain't
for
that
free.
crazy?
And vasectomies for free too.
Yeah, that is so weird.
Fucking crazy, man. In Chicago too, which is a cesspool.
Yeah,
Fucking cesspool,
too
man.
much diversity there.
You look at all the major cities that have the highest crime,
Yeah.
all blue.
Yeah,
I think like maybe like one or two are red. But the
yeah.
majority
One
of them
or
are
two
blue.
are red, but a majority of them are blue,
Fucking terrible.
and they've
bro.
always been blue.
It's fucking terrible. The best states to live in right now, what are they? Red?
Red.
Florida? Texas? Nevada? It is what it is.
Yeah, we got people fleeing those states, going to red states.
They are.
Yeah.
It's too goddamn expensive.
I very seriously doubt those are Democrats that's leaving those states. The majority of them are Republicans. That's why they're leaving.
Yeah.
Every time I go to LA, I get more mad. I see
Yeah.
another weird bathroom. Like I walked into a
Yeah, I
bathroom.
know the
like-
gender bathrooms. And
Yeah,
stuff.
so I went
Yeah.
up there. I was in California like a month or two, like 2 months ago. I did this thing, Jubilee, fat people.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, they got mad at me. I said we
Yeah,
need
I
to
saw
put
you
fat
talking
people
to
on.
that fat dude.
Ra-
Yeah, you look, you're fat, you're disgusting.
Well-
he's right here. He's like right in front of him.
Yeah.
He's like, you're fat and you're disgusting.
Bro,
he's
I
like
mean,
with his fingers doing it.
they got mad at me because I said we need to put fat people in concentration camps. And I was like, yeah, put them in concentration camps so they concentrate on their fucking diet and exercise. You know what I mean? But bro, I don't give a fuck. Like, dude, make me president. I'll have the fat problem done in 2 months. It'll be gone in 2 months, bro.
Yeah.
You know, fear of Hitler. Oh, shit. We're on YouTube. My bad.
No, we cut that shit out. You ain't getting me deep all the time. It's just gonna go silent. Hey, where can people find you?
YouTube, Fresh and Fit. Rumble as well. People could check me out over there. And yeah, man, Twitter, UnpluggedFitX. I'm really active on Twitter. Like, I go all the way on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's free speech.
That's a nice place over there.
It's great, man.
I love Twitter, man.
It's great, man. You can say what you want, and I put up funny memes, and I can't say what I put up, but I'll show y'all after the show. Okay. I almost slipped just now, man. Just like, goddamn.
Hey, man, thanks for your time, bro.
No, man, it's great talking with you guys, like always.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.